All praises. Hallelujah, hallelujah, hallelujah. Shabbat shalom, elakam mishpaka. Shabbat shalom, family. How y'all doing? What it do? What it do? Y'all climb on in. I see a lot of people up in here. Y'all see what we got on the board today. Hebrew cultural identity crisis create enemies of Yahweh. When Mali was live yesterday and he did that beautiful class, I brought out something on how we have a cultural identity crisis, and it's like a state of emergency right now. If you actually look out and you see what's going on amongst our people and the mindset and the mind frame of our people and the things that we're practicing, the customs that we are involving ourselves in is totally against the structure and the frame work of our God. And these bring us to, we're literally becoming enemies of Yahweh. And Yahweh smite and kill those who are against him. So we really, really, truly have to check what we're doing, check our culture, check our education, check our circumstances, check our economical, our political powers. We need to be checking all of that stuff, because these things are truly, truly turning us into enemies of Yahweh. All right. So that's what we're talking about today. Again, this is called Hebrew Cultural Identity Crisis. Create enemy of Yahweh. Create enemies of Yahweh. Shalom, shalom. Y'all climb on in. Who all we got in the building? Let's see. Shania, shalom, shalom. Sister, 12 Tribe Athlete. Shalom, shalom. Shabbat shalom. Zealots of Yisrael. Me, Melchizedek Ministry. Shalom, shalom. Everybody in the building. Lisa B, Pete, Judah Mack. Marcus Yisrael, shalom, brother Marcus. We need to talk, bro. We need to talk. Kila Olam Kazdu. Y'all climb on in. Forgive us for being late, y'all. Y'all know how I go on Hebrew time. We most definitely need to be working on that. All right. Y'all climb on in. I'm gonna wait for a few more people to get in and we're gonna get this started. Again, this is talking about Hebrew cultural identity crisis. I know lately y'all been seeing all I talk about is the culture. Because the culture is embodiment with Yahweh. The culture is all the Bible talks about. The culture is all the Bible implement. The culture is your means to freedom and liberation. I mean, literally, the culture is the Bible, y'all. That's what we truly need to be talking about and tapping into in these last days. Because once we get our culture back and once we start looking at it from a cultural, political, and economical standpoint, then we can see where true power lies. True power lies in the framework that makes a people, the true identity. And that is what Yahweh set up for us in the beginning. So when we start getting into this Bible and we start reading what Yahweh was conveying to us, it will completely just blow your mind and just change your position and make you rethink things before you do, things. So with that being said, if y'all ready to get started, type in some nines. We'll pray on in and we'll get it going. If y'all can hear me well too, type in some nines. Let me know that y'all can hear me. And look, let's get this thing going. All praise, hallelujah. All right, we all good? Y'all can hear me well? All right, all praises. I see Marcus Israel said he can hear me. Okay, y'all can hear me. All right, let's go and pray on in and let's get it started. Again, my apologies for the late start, y'all. Get your butt over and sit down. What are you doing? Don't get back up either. All praises, Heavenly Father. Yabareka Yahweh Veishmerika Yahweh Kona Elika Vikuneka Yesa Yahweh Kona Elika. They are same Laka Shalom. They are same Laka Shalom. Yabareka Yahweh Veishmerika Yahweh Pona Elika Dikuneka Yesa Yahweh Pona Elika Be'asem Shalom Be'asem Shalom. Amen. Hallelujah. The Most High shall bless you, and He shall keep you, and He shall shine His face upon you. He will bless you, He will keep you, and He will give you peace. Amen. Hallelujah. Let's get it. All right, let's get it done. All right, y'all see what we going over? Hebrew cultural identity crisis creates enemies of Yahweh. Let's dig into this manuscript. Let's dig into these cultural aspects that Yahweh have set up for us, and let's just see what He was talking about and what He conveys with. All right, let me make sure I got y'all on before I share my screen with y'all. Make sure everything good. Let me see where we at. Okay, y'all, praises. Hallelujah. We yet. All right, I can hear myself good. All right, let me share this screen with y'all, and let's get straight to it, fam. Let me share my screen. Let's get straight to it. All praises and all praise to those who are coming into the chat. All right. Now, look, let's see what Yahweh has been talking about to us. Let's see what He's been trying to convey. I want to start this off in the book of Judges. We're going to start this off in the Old Testament. We're going to start this off in the book of Judges, and then chapter 5, and we're going to start at verse 1. Y'all type in y'all sevens when y'all get there, and we're going to get it started. We're going to get it started. Because there's some very, very creative things that Yahweh is doing, trying to show us what we need to be on and how to truly, truly take back our culture and to get our identity back. A lot of us realize that we are Hebrew Israelites. That's not an identity. A lot of people realize that their heritage is in the Bible. Again, that's not walking into your identity. Your identity is all the foreshadowings and the details and the concepts and the ideas that's behind that people, that's behind that culture. Just go ahead and come get him. All right, so these are things that we're going to be tapping into today. Truly, truly understanding what a culture is. A lot of people don't know what a culture is. Matter of fact, before we do that, I want to show y'all something. Let me show y'all something real quick. Let me show y'all something. Give me 1 second, family. Let me show y'all this picture. All right, so I got this picture off of Dr. Amos Wilson website. Now check this out. So in the beginning, what we're looking at is we're looking at a culture, okay? Now peep what it's showing you. So the beginning to every culture, or to identify the culture, is their language. Y'all see that? It's their language. And what I wrote down, because I've really been studying language, and I study the Hebrew language a lot. And I noticed that when you truly, truly dive into the Hebrew language and get into the cultural aspects of the language, I mean, it's about all these things that we finna break down and talk about. So what I wrote is the language is your DNA expressing themselves verbally. So whenever you speak the Hebrew language, you're literally speaking from your genome code. You're literally speaking from your DNA, and you're expressing your DNA and who you are as a people verbally. And why I say this is because you can listen to a certain language and a certain accent and just know that they belong to a specific group of people. But we are the only people that speak a different language, and we speak this English language, but we realize that we're Hebrew Israelites. So what we're gonna come to find out is, to the beginning of every culture, it have to be a language there. And notice that we're speaking a slave language. So it shows you this. The language is what truly create a culture. From that culture, and you have that language to identify you, to be separate from another people. Now it's communication of that language. You start communicating that language to one another. Then from there, you move on to the to courtesism or courteous. Then from there, your rituals come. Then your roles come. Then your customs, because we building a tradition from the language that created this culture and people. From that, we have relationships. Now we can build relationships relationships with other people and other culture. And this is how we get our political power, because okay, we got sheeps, we got flocks, we sowers, we grow fruits, we farming men. Now there's other cultures that's gonna need food, there's other cultures that's gonna need clothing. So now we're building a political relationship and building an economical structure with other people because we got it. You see what I'm saying? Then you move over into practices. Now once you get all these things, we start practicing things. Now from there, your practices will be the commandments, your practices will be your feast days, your traditions. Now once you realize your practices and your customs built through the relationship, now it's expected behaviors. Now this is what I suspect you to do. Since you know your language, you communicate very well, you know all your rituals inside of your people's culture, you know the roles you're supposed to be playing, you got your customs and your traditions down, you got your relationships down. Now we're practicing these things. Once you start practicing keeping the Torah and keeping the commandments, now it's expected behavior, because once you know better, you do better, right? Then from here we create a value system, your expected behavior. If you start listening, you see that? If you start listening and following these expected behaviors, your value is a reward. That's the kingdom of Yahweh. Then it goes to thoughts, and then go ahead, open it, and then manners of interacting. You see what I'm saying? So if y'all understand it so far and y'all get this picture before we get in the lesson, let me know. All right, let me know. Type in some 9s if y'all get this, because look, it's going to be broken down so beautifully when we get to the scriptures, y'all. And it shows you that your language is the base to all these things. Language is key. Language is key to all of this. So if y'all understand that so far, type in some 9s, and then we're gonna get it going. Okay, all praise. Okay, y'all get that. All right, so let's get it going. And I'm gonna show this picture in the middle. That way y'all see exactly where I'm going with this. All right, because remember what we're talking about is the Hebrew culture. It's a Hebrew identity crisis, cultural identity crisis. So a lot of us know that we Hebrews, but a lot of us are not walking into the culture. And that's why I call the second awakening. The first awakening is just realizing that you're a Hebrew Israelite. And that's it. You go around, you start telling everybody that. And then you have this second awakening. That second awakening is when you start adapting the customs and straight following the Torah, not only physically, but mentally and spiritually. This is when you start taking bits and pieces of the details of your culture and you start implementing them in your life. And then people can see the change. They can see you dressing different, because again, what's a part of your culture? Your dressing, your code, how you're conducting yourself, how you look. You see that? Then they start seeing you speaking different, because what's part of a culture? Your language. They start seeing you expressing your DNA verbally. You see that? What's the third thing? It'll be landmass. You start doing farming things, getting into farming, getting into agriculture, getting into building things. So then people will be able to look at you and say, okay, last year you was talking all this Hebrew Israelite stuff, but I didn't see nothing. But this year I see a cultural identity. I see a change in your whole political and mental construct and structure. Now that's what want to make them be down, because they see a change. Y'all see how this go? So let's get it. Now check this out. It gets deep, y'all. It gets deep. It says, then saying Deborah. Yeah, that way you can read. We in the book of Judges, chapter 5. We starting at verse 1. Book of Judges, chapter 5, verse 1. Yeah, you can. Book of Judges, chapter 5, verse 1.
All right.
Let's get it. Read loud for them too, brother.
Yep. Book of Judges, chapter 5, verse 1. Then sang Deborah and Barak, the son of Abanom, on that day, saying, praise ye the Lord for the avenging of Israel.
You see that? So now we saying, praise ye the Lord for the avenging of Israel. Come on.
When the people willingly offered themselves.
Come on.
Hear, O ye kings. Give ear, O ye princes. I, even I, will sing unto the Lord. I will sing praise to the Lord God of Israel.
Come on, brother.
Lord, when thou wentest out of Seir, when thou marchest out of the field of Edom,
come on,
the earth trembled,
come on,
and the heavens dropped. The clouds also dropped water.
Come on.
The mountains melted from before the Lord. Even that Sinai from before the Lord God of Israel.
So it's showing us war. Now, when you start truly getting into the scripture, you will see that every war was based off cultural differences. Notice, anytime Yahweh sent us into another land, it was always to kill everybody in that land utterly. Don't leave nothing standing, and always tear down their gods, tear down their statues, burn their graven images. So we see that Yahweh sent us to a lot of different lands to utterly destroy their culture. Why is that? Huh? Why did Yahweh send us to a couple lands and told us to destroy the people, destroy their mindsets, and destroy the culture? Huh? Same thing that was done to us while we have a cultural identity crisis to this day, because that's what happened to us. They came into Jerusalem, they destroyed us, they converted a lot of us over to being Roman Greco-Greeks. You see that? They destroyed our images, they destroyed our temple, they truly destroyed our culture. But Yahweh made us the oracles of God. The oracles that we speaking from our DNA. Inside of our DNA is these records, this library. And inside this library is all the blueprint in our genome code that show us as a people who we truly are. So they can destroy all our books. They can destroy all our knowledge. But we always gonna lean back to our culture. Now, do we do it the wrong way? Yes, we do. But one thing when I was studying this, I always realized we have always been some crystal wearing, incense burning, musical dancing Negroes, whether it's in righteousness or whether it's in wickedness. We have always been burning incense. We've always been playing with crystals, and we have always been that real rhythmic people, always got that rhythm and want to dance to music. We just been using it for the wrong reasons. You see what I'm saying? Come on.
In the days of Shamgar, the son of Anath.
Come on.
In the days of Aiel, the highways were unoccupied, and the travelers walked thorough by ways. The inhabitants of a villages ceased. Come on. They ceased in Israel. Come on. Until that I, Deborah, arose. That I arose, the mother in Israel.
You see that? So it said everything was going down. We lost the wars, we was losing battles, we was losing fights, we've been utterly destroyed as a people, and our culture was being destroyed because we inhabit a land, but we didn't do what Yahweh told us to do. What Yahweh had told us to do was to truly go inside of Canaan and utterly destroy everything, but we didn't do that. We let certain people live amongst us, but we're gonna get to scripture showing that. And two cultures cannot survive together with one another. It's one gonna always get spilt in the other. And this is the reason why we have the identity crisis that we have right now, because we're not waging war against other cultures. We're not. And that's what we're supposed to be doing. We're supposed to be going around setting up our feast days, promoting our feast days, the same way they promote their holidays on TV, the same way they out popping their fireworks now. We're supposed to be, marching through the streets, yelling Yahu, screaming the commandments of Yahweh. The same way that these other cultural identity people are doing theirs and promoting their culture, we supposed to be uplifting and promoting ours, but we're not doing that. Come on.
They choose new gods.
They what?
Choose new gods.
You see that? It says we choose new gods. We serve the God of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob, but we went into another land and we started adapting to their culture and we chose new gods. Now look, for us choosing new gods, for us tapping out of our culture, for us giving our culture over and we're not following it, guess what happens? Come on.
Then was a war in the gates.
See that? So soon as we started choosing other gods, then war came in the gates. Then war came upon us. Notice that we was living free. We had economical strength and power. We had political strength and power. We had our own laws, our own government, our own kings, princes, our own wardrobe, on money, on everything. But the day we chose to start following other cultural identities, we lost ours. And then that's when war came to us. Yep. See that? So this show you how important culture is. The moment that you shift and stop following yours, we see the calamity for it. We see the cause and effect. War come from it. So it says they chose new gods. Then was war in the gates. Come on.
Was there a shield or spear seen among 40,000 in Israel?
You see that? Did we have weapons? Come on.
My heart is toward the governors of Israel. That offered themselves willingly among the people.
You see that? So Deborah, like, look, man, Deborah rose up in these days. I'm the only one that did something, but I'm not finna not give them credit to the ones that did stand up in the other leadership of Israel and offer themselves willingly among the people. It says, bless ye Yahweh. So the leaders of Israel need to be in this position where we're doing everything to take our culture back. We're doing everything to take our belief system back. We're doing everything. We're showing the whole entire world who Yahweh is and where his power and his strength remains at. But we're not doing it. And this is why, because we have a Hebrew cultural identity crisis. We saying Yahu, we saying Shalom, we following the feast days, but that's it. When it comes to any other political and cultural structure, we're not following them. And that's the reason why we're in the position we in today. Come on.
Speak ye the ride on white asses, ye that sit in judgment, and walk by the way.
Come on.
They that are delivered from the noise of archers in the places of drawing water.
Right.
There shall they rehearse the righteous acts of the Lord. even the righteous acts towards the inhabitants of his villages
Y'all
in
see
Israel.
that? So we supposed to be rehearsing the righteous acts of Yahweh. Ain't this crazy? This showing you that we supposed to be straight practicing our culture, and we supposed to be teaching the children to do like so too. You see that? The righteous acts of Yahweh. Come on. Read that one more time.
They that are delivered from the noise of archers and the places of drawing water. There shall they rehearse the righteous acts of the Lord. Even the righteous acts towards the inhabitants of his villages in Israel. Then shall the people of the Lord go down to the gates.
All right, we're going to stop there right there because this is where we start getting into the culture. Now, check this out. Let's go to Deuteronomy Chapter 7 and start there from 1. And it paints the picture of what you're really supposed to be doing. Not everything else we doing. Notice you only see Hebrews on feast days. You see them on Shabbat days. And that's about it. You know what I'm saying? That's it. What are you doing? What are you doing with all that spare time? And you start looking at what we wearing. We start looking at the things that got our attention, and it ain't got nothing to do with his people or his culture. And it's not benefiting us. How is this benefiting us? The things that we're doing. It shows you that we have a true identity crisis. Knowing that you a Hebrew Israelite is not truly tapping into the culture. Okay. We know that now. What we do with the information. All right. So Deuteronomy chapter 7. Start this at 1. Now it gets deep, y'all. It's gonna get deep. Because it's going to show you how the Most High builds his nation, how the Most High truly builds his culture, how he brought up his economical system. A lot of us think that we just automatically from Israel. No, we not. Abraham was from where? Where was Abraham from? He's from the land of Chaldees. Yeah, he went from Israel, but he had another culture back then. Because remember, he had destroyed all his father idols and stuff too. But who was he taught by though? You see who he's taught by? He's taught in the cave by Shem and them. You see what I'm saying? So we automatically think that we all are from Israel when we not. We took over Israel. And then once we took over Israel, it was a whole culture that was endowed and put in us. So everybody think culture is just only a physical thing, but culture is most definitely spiritual. Culture is a idea. Culture is spiritual constructs. And once we start following them, we do outer things to show that we're different from everybody. That's what makes a culture. That's what makes it. Which would be the land, your language, your heritage, your feast days, your traditions, your customs. But where do all that come from before it becomes physical? That's a mental thing. For instance, if we look at Passover with Christ, you know what I'm saying? It represents Christ passing over us, the death angel passing over us, and it killed everybody that didn't follow his commands. So that was a spiritual thing. Once we listened to that, it became part of the culture. Now the culture aspect is we keep Pesach. But instead of Christ passing over us and being bought by the blood, now we're drinking wine. We're not drinking actual blood. We're drinking wine and we're eating of the unleavened bread for his body. So that's a spiritual concept that we're now doing physically once we applied it. That's what makes people culture. It's literally a spiritual thing. So you can be looking like you're a part of the culture, but your mindset ain't matching the culture, meaning that you're actually against the culture. And this creates enemy of God because you false flag. You out here pretending it's all out of cup, but inwardly there is nothing there. And that's why we all giving over to idols and stuff right now. Again, you don't have to bow down to an image or a God to be serving another God. You could be giving in to money. Money could be your God. You've been giving in to certain logos on clothing. You see that, like Nautica and Polo. That can be your God. Jordans can be your God. Sex can be your God. And this is what Yahweh was trying to truly strip us from and bring us back to where we trying to go now. So look, when you read this, you're going to see what he did, though. Let's read this. Book of Deuteronomy chapter 7, verse 1.
When the Lord thy God shall bring thee into the land whither thou goest to possess it.
You see that? So he brought us into a land. We always talking about, the land of Israel. We straight went and took that land. It's straight up. We actually from the land of Sumeria, y'all. I mean, truly, if you want to get down into DNA, we Sumerians. That's where our forefather Abraham come from. Then we went and took a land. And from there, we built up our culture. So if you get like into the word Hebrew Israelite, that's a very, very new nation. The Africans are older than us. Y'all realize Hebrew Israelite Hebrew is pretty old, but Israelite, that's one of the newest nations in the Bible. A lot of people don't even know that. And as soon as we created that nation and got that culture, we turned our backs on God and it got taken by another people that quick. Now it's people over there keeping our customs and cultures better than us. It's crazy. Come on.
and have cast out many nations before thee.
So it says, restart that from 1 again.
When the Lord thy God shall bring thee into the land whither thou goest to possess it, and has cast out many nations before thee, the Hittites and the Girgazites, and the Amorites, and the Canaanites.
See, all these are different cultures, a part of the land of Canaan. The Hittites had their own gods they worship female gods. The Girgazites worship male gods. The Amorites worship he, she gods. And it was a lot of giants in their culture and nation. Come on.
And the Perizzites, and the Hivites, and the Jebusites, the 7 nations greater and mightier than thou.
Come on.
And when the Lord thy God shall deliver thee before thee, thou shalt smite them and utterly destroy them.
Now, why did we have to utterly destroy this other nation? What was the whole point? The whole point was to go in and kill everything. Why was that though? Because if we would have left anything living, or if we would have left they images up, then we would have been given over to them. So it's crazy. It's the crazy thing that we think that we can be the people we are and still be around other people serving other guys and be cool. That's not so according to scripture. We supposed to be on war path to destroy all idols, all other cultures at all times. Now, am I saying physically? No. But if you see something off, you see somebody doing something that's not of the culture, we supposed to be correcting them daily because we supposed to be tearing down idols and gods. That's the only way to uplift your culture. Straight up. Come on.
Thou shalt make no covenant with them.
Notice we weren't supposed to be making no covenants or agreement with these people either. Come on.
Nor show mercy unto them.
Nor show mercy unto them. Meaning we are supposed to go and utterly destroy them, their children, their idols, their gods, their culture. Just like what's been done to us. Yep. We the only people that's not fighting for our culture. We give in to everybody. We follow all their traditions and all their laws. Everybody else is fighting for their culture. Notice when Chinese people move here, they bring their food, they bring their language. You had a Chinese swap meet markets on there with their own language on there. You see what I'm saying? If you go over there in Olivet right now where the Jewish boys own that, they got everything in Hebrew on there. They got their own temples, even though they taking our identity. You see what I'm saying? Even when Jamaicans come over here, they carry food, they bring their jerk soul, they bring all of that. We the only people that come over here and don't bring nothing. We the only people that come over here and buy into another people's culture. Everybody else that come here bring their culture. Everybody. Think about all the Muslims and all the mosques that's out here, all the gas stations. They come out here, they get business. They come out here, they bring their economics. They come out here, they bring their resources. They come out here, they bring their religion, their temples, their belief, their clothing. We the only people that don't do that. Because we have a cultural identity crisis. We do. And then we find out who we is, but we don't start bringing in the culture with it. All right, I'm a Hebrew Israelite, but I'm dressed like a hood nigga. All right, I'm a Hebrew Shebrew, but I'm dressed like a prostitute. All right, I'm a Hebrew. I go to feast days, but you don't see me no other time than that. It's like, okay, so what's the whole point of your identity then? That shows you that identity means nothing if you're not going to apply what the culture that comes with the identity. And that's what's going on. And that's why we finna hear about 1,000 firecrackers go off in the next couple hours because of the cultural identity crisis that's upon our people. And half of these people know who they are or have heard it. We in the streets all day, all the time. Everybody done heard that they Hebrews before, but what are you going to do with the information? All right, come on.
Verse 3. Neither shalt thou make marriages with them.
Right.
Thy daughter shall not give unto his son, nor his daughter shall thou take unto thy son.
And this is how important the culture is. We're supposed to protect it. It says we ain't even supposed to be marrying other nations or giving ourselves into other nations because that creates a cultural separation right there. For instance, say if we have a cultural war, what's going on right now? Race against race. But you got a white father and you got a black mother. You're gonna automatically feel for the white race because you have a white father. You see what I'm saying? So if you even look at the ideology of how he set this thing up, it makes total sense. Makes all the sense in the world. Come on.
For they will turn away thy son from following me.
Ooh, come on.
That they may serve other gods.
And ain't that what happened? Come on.
So will the anger of the Lord be kindled against you and destroy thee suddenly.
Come on.
But thus shall ye deal with them. Ye shall destroy their altars.
You see that? We supposed to come through and destroy their altars. Look, this show you that our whole point and purpose, wherever we at, we supposed to be destroying their culture. Now, can I say you go do that now? You probably end up locked up somewhere just shooting and bringing a sledgehammer to an altar. But you can do these things mentally. Yeah. And that's where culture started anyway. It starts mentally. You know what I'm saying? No, that's a false god. Why you even got that up here? Come on. So it says, but thus shall ye deal with them. Ye shall destroy thy altars. Come on.
And break down their images.
Break down their images. Their altars is how they serve their God. So you supposed to look, destroy their belief system, their religion. Then break down their graven images. Come on.
And cut down their groves.
Cut down their high trees. See that? Which is Christmas tree worshiping, which is what a lot of our people do now. See that? So we were straight created to destroy their culture, but our culture has been destroyed because we ain't been doing this. And something's got to give. Come on.
And burn their graven images with fire.
You see that? We're supposed to utterly destroy their culture. But instead, we co-sign it. It's all good. As long as y'all don't bring that over here, it's cool. But what about your children that stay over there in that neighborhood? What about your children that stay around them and is giving into that? See that? So our whole thing is to truly tap into our culture, and with that comes power, because we're tapping back into our God. And that's when things will really start changing. But look, we too, man. We become weak. We just let anything go down around us. We can live next door to a homosexual and it's cool. You see what I'm saying? We got homosexuals in our homes. It's cool. We're around people that's doing all types of drugs and to all types of alcoholism. That's cool. You know what I'm saying? We think it's cute when our women are dressing like hoes and prostitutes. That's cool. Half of us actually like it and lust after that stuff. This is all anti-culture. All of it. And once you become anti-culture, you become anti your identity. Once you become anti your identity, you lose your heritage. Your heritage is connected to your God. So if you anti your own culture, you anti your God. You become an enemy at that point. You're an enemy to Yahweh, your God that chose you. When we gonna start standing up and truly setting a difference here, truly being holy and different and set apart, and being about us and being about each other instead of ourselves? You don't see that no more. You don't. Come on.
For thou art an holy people unto the Lord thy God.
You see that? So he like, look, the reason why I need, when you go into this other nation, the reason why I need you to destroy that culture, and he's finna tell you, for thou art a holy people. You are a set apart people unto the Lord thy God. Come on.
The Lord thy God has chosen thee to be a special people.
You see that?
Unto himself.
So you're going to be a people that's different from everybody else. Why can't we see that? Huh? Why can't we see that? Straight up. Come on.
Above all people that are upon the face of the earth.
So we supposed to be above all people, but we are lower than all people. And we straight got the blueprint to get back on top, but we're not following it, and we're not tapping back into our culture, because this cultural identity crisis that we got, and I'm talking about Hebrews. Hebrews still can't come together. Hebrews still can't come together to get land. Hebrews still can't put their money in one pot to bring out economic power. Hebrews can't do nothing in unity. Nothing. That's crazy. That is crazy. But you look out, you see every other nation doing it. Every other nation got their business in this melting pot. Every other nation's got their own weapons in this melting pot. Every other nation got their religion and their belief in this melting pot. Everybody but us. Everybody. Because we truly don't know who we are as a concept. We know who we are as a people. Like, I know I'm a Hebrew Israelite, but we don't know who we are as a concept of a people and what we're supposed to be doing. Come on.
The Lord did not set his love upon you, nor chose you, because ye were more in numbers than any people.
Right.
For ye were the fewest of all people. But because the Lord loved you, and because he would keep the other which he hath sworn unto your fathers, hath the Lord brought you out of a mighty hand.
Ooh, come on.
And redeemed you out of the house of bondmen, from the hand of Pharaoh, the king of Egypt.
All right, let's stop there right there, because we're going to go back into that. Get him up and walk him around. Yeah. All right, we're going to go back to that, because I want to show y'all something. Let's go to the book of Judges, chapter 3. Book of Judges, chapter 3. We're going to go back to Judges, chapter 3. And it's going to start unfolding for y'all. Book of Judges, chapter 3. And I'm not tripping. Is it hot in a mug up in here? Man, I mean, dang. All right, we're in the book of Judges, chapter 3, start at verse 1. Check this out. Yes, we're talking about a Hebrew cultural identity. Again, a culture is an idea. If you actually look up the word culture, it comes from the word cultivate. So a culture is something, that's what you do to land. You cultivate the land. It's something start off very small, then you nourish it and you water it and it grows. So a culture is a base of ideas that can help push a people forward in civilization? Are we doing that as a people? Are we moving forward in civilization? Are we gaining any type of political gain, any type of economical gain, any type of technologies? None of that, because we don't have the resources to do that. And the reason why is because we don't have the mindset. So I was watching something, right, and it blew my mind. I was watching this movie, and it was based off a true story. And it was a little white boy. And it was all these grown, big old, massive men in the slave fields. And it was one little white boy with a dog. Do you know he had so much power over the slaves? So it showed me what true power was. True power is not in your statue. It's not in that. The power was in the culture that the white boy came from. They knew if they rose up against this little fragile white boy, that it wasn't gonna be the problem. They was gonna have to face the whole slave master society. You see what I'm saying? So when you truly think about a culture, that's where the power is at. It's not in how it looks. It's in the construct and the framework of it. We don't have a framework of anything. We got it in the scripture, but we're not applying it. So it ain't been built yet. So that's why police feel like they can just murder us in the street and nothing be done, because they know Negroes just going to have their cell phones out and be on Facebook and marching. And they probably burn down a few buildings or something, but ain't no police finna get killed. You see what I'm saying? Now let one of them Hebrew Negroes raise their hand against that little fragile white boy, which was a son of a slave master. Do y'all know he would have been? They probably would have killed the whole field of Negroes within that day. You see what I'm saying? So this little white boy represented a powerful structure with a culture backing him. It wasn't him. It was the cultural aspect that backed this little boy. Y'all get what I'm saying?
Yes, sir.
That's how deep and powerful your culture is. What's up, bro?
They destroyed our culture, though.
Yeah, no, yeah, but they destroyed our culture, but we still got it according to scripture. All we got is go ahead.
Still got it according to scripture, but I started thinking about, man, like in English class, they used to teach us about I think it was called the Salem witch project.
Yeah, the say, yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
How, basically when they was killing witches or whatever, they basically stopped them from killing witches.
Yeah.
But now what they doing is okay.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? But when the Bible teaches us, you know what I'm saying? No, we ain't supposed to okay it.
Yeah, ain't supposed to okay none of that. Yeah, it's straight a cult. It's a culture. Look, what I realized doing all this studying, it's been a cultural war that's been going against us since we came over here. The whole thing. Do y'all know they was gonna let us keep our Hebrew language? And then this white boy and another dude named John, what was his name? John Beta something. I got to get his name. And they came up with the thing. They're like, no, because if we let them keep their identity, because your language is spoken and expressed through your DNA. They're like, if we let them keep their language, they're going to remember who they are. So then that's when they changed it to English. You know what I'm saying? It's crazy how they spend trillions of dollars and spend most of their attention warring against our culture, but we don't do it back to them. It's okay with us. We okay with going to Walmart, getting some food and listening to Have a Holly Jolly Christmas. You even find yourself singing it, tapping your feet to it. Then you're like, dang, let me get that out of my head. How about soon as you hear that or you know it's going to be playing, how about you sacrifice yourself enough to say, you know what? I'm not going into that damn store. See that's us warring back against the culture. You see what I'm saying? How about you know if it's 4th of July, even though you don't celebrate it, why would you even go over there and know they barbecuing? Or you a Hebrew Israelite, and even though you're not popping fireworks or celebrating this so-called holiday, but you're going to say, I'm going to put something on the grill anyways. See, it's not for that. It's just to eat. I'm hungry. Well, why you can't pick another particular day to put something on your grill? Why do you want to put something on your grill when everybody else got something on their grill on this day? It's a deep within subconscious cultural identity crisis. We want to be like them so bad. Yeah, they did. And look, on some crazy stuff, Elder, it's indoctrinated on so many subconscious levels that every time we pull back a layer, it's still some European constructs there. Yep. Straight up. So we have to start warring against this immediately, because as long as we have this cultural identity crisis, we are enemies of God. We can be in Shabbat class, we can follow the feast days and all of that. If we look, y'all realize the soul is the subconscious mind. That's what's going to be judged. Your conscious mind is not going to be judged. Your soul is being judged, and that's the subconscious mind. These are what the programming is aimed towards us in. It's a cultural war going on. It seems like everybody know it but us. Everybody know it. Everybody. Do y'all realize how to arm yourself during this culture war? It's easier just changing your clothes, period. Everything I wear now got something to do with a black queen now. Everything. It's gonna say black mixed with more black. Okay, of course, we know that we're not black. This is the color of a crown, but I'm waging war. So other people see the shirt and it'll recognize something within them and make them want to wear it. You see what I'm saying? It's so many things that we can be doing psychologically to wage war back and get our culture back, but we're not doing it. Simple as that chain you wearing. How many people that's not in the truth ask you what that means? You see what I'm saying? That's another weapon to gain back the culture. We need to truly start doing that, bro. All right, come on with it. Start at 1 again.
Judges chapter 3, verse 1. Now these are the nations which the Lord left to prove Israel by them.
You see that? So remember, we were supposed to go into the land of Canaan and utterly destroy their culture. This is why I say culture, because it says we had to tear down their altars. That's their religion. We had to tear down their groves. We had to tear down their images, their graven images, and we had to burn them all off, and we had to kill all of them. So we was instructed to go completely destroy another culture of people. What they culture, but we didn't do it. Now it's finna show y'all back up and not doing that. Book of Judges chapter 3 and 1, because it's been done to us. It's been done to us, man. Straight up, we are straight Negro-peans, man, to the T. Where Negro-peans wearing fringes and celebrating the Shabbat day. That's crazy. I mean, ain't that the facts? It's the truth, man. It's the truth. Come on.
Even as many of Israel had...
Hold on, you in the book of Judges chapter 3, verse 1?
Yep.
All right, come on.
Even as many of Israel as had not known all the wars of Canaan, only the generations of the children of Israel might know.
Start that from 1 again, for they can hear this.
Gotcha. Judges chapter 3, verse 1. Now these are the nations which the Lord left.
See that? Which the Lord left. Yahweh left them. Because remember, we were supposed to go and utterly destroy them, but we didn't. So it was bits and pieces of them left inside of Canaan with what? They gods, their religion, their culture. A lot of us think that we follow in a European construct and culture, but look, who taught the Europeans? The Africans. So even if you look at what we worship today, we still are worshiping Egypt, y'all. We never left it. We have embodied an Egyptian culture, period. Down to the judicial system, down to what we wearing, down to the language, down to all of that. Y'all see them out there popping their fireworks? Cultural identity crisis, boy. Straight up. Come on.
Now these are the nations which the Lord left to prove Israel by them, even as many of Israel as had not known all the wars of Canaan.
Y'all hear that? So it says, even as many of Israel as had not known all the wars of Canaan. Come on.
Only that the generations of the children of Israel might know to teach them war.
You see that? So what we supposed to be teaching our children?
Them war.
We supposed to be teaching our children war, because we are in a cultural war, identity war, psychological warfare, food and germ warfare. On every end, we at war. Brother, you got to sit over there. So why are we not teaching our children war? Instead, we want to teach our children European education. To get a piece of European paper that got a European name that's over that university. Teaching them how to be more European. Why we're not teaching them things of Hebrew Israelite?
Right.
Molding in them the mathematics and the days of the Bible. Do y'all realize the day in the Bible start during the night? We teach the day start during the day. Like everything is backwards. Everything is flipped. Our whole cultural identity have been constructed for us to be slaves to the European. Period. So when you go to school, you learn how to stay a slave. But guess what the white boy go to school for? He learned how to stay a master or oppressor. But since our culture is different, you don't know that, but they do. They can teach you the same thing that they teach the European, but guess what you're going to get out of it? You're going to get, okay, I need to go get me a job. I need to be in a cubicle all day. But guess what the white man going to get from it? I need to make sure I build cubicles so I can make sure I have jobs to give to Negroes. Y'all see, it's a total different mindset because it's a total different structure and culture. That's crazy because they can be teaching the same thing, but you're going to automatically get a different understanding from it because your ability and culture and mindset that you're supposed to have that they didn't give to you because they stripped it from you through cultural identity warfare. They teach white power, but you think you're being empowered though. The whole time, I'm finna get this job. I'm finna work a 9 to 5. I'm gonna give me a 401k, and I'm retiring when I'm 50. And they gonna give me about 50 grand.
Labor force.
But look, at the same time, they teaching you how to work for a man. They teaching that white man and that white boy how to keep CEO position, how to keep the oppressor position. Nothing have changed, y'all. Nothing have changed between being in the cotton field, from going into the prison system to moving over into the workforce. Guess who they taught how to work first? Us. Soon as we got off the boats, they taught us how to, this is what y'all need to be doing. While they sit back and they benefit from our labor. We actually be bragging on having high paying jobs. Oh, they just pay you more to be a slave, Negro. What are we bragging about here? But it's that cultural identity crisis we got. And now it makes sense when Yahweh sent us into a land to inhabit it. He said, get rid of everything. Y'all gonna build your own economics. Y'all gonna build your own God. I mean, y'all gonna build your own altars for your own true and one God. Y'all gonna have your own political power, your own military structure. It makes so much sense now. And then what's crazy is when we get into Revelations 21, going into the millennial reign, when he restore our language and he teach the 144,000 how to war, and we're gonna be repopulating in the new kingdom, because 7 gonna take hold to 1 and all of that. The first thing you're gonna see is he rebuilds the city, and then he put a wall of protection around the city. Y'all know the scriptures I'm talking about? We're going to go to it, though. It gets deep on how he rebuilds the culture within that 1,000 years. But we just read, we're supposed to be rehearsing these things, didn't we? Yep. We just read that. So why are we not practicing these things? Y'all see that's Malaki. All right, come on.
Verse 2. Only that the generations of the children of Israel might know, to teach them war.
You see that? We got to do what?
Teach them war.
So what are you teaching your children? We teaching them war, or only thing we teaching them is ABCs. I'm not saying teach them ABCs, because they must know this slave language. Otherwise, they're going to get tricked all the time. But we have to teach them. We have to teach them the white man's education as more as a weapon, as a weapon to shoot back at them, than teaching them for that to be accepted. You see that our identity crisis has been messed up so much. We literally think that we have to lose our blackness to be accepted out here. We think that we have to be less black or less Israelite to be a part of society, when Yahweh clearly has told us that we ain't supposed to be in that society, in this world, in the first place. Like, we truly been mind tricked through cultural warfare. Y'all, I'm telling y'all. All you have to, and I'm not even talking about Negroes in the streets. I'm talking about Hebrew Israelites who know who they are, that come to feast days, that read the Bible and all of that. But if you get deeper into the studies of their mindset, it's like he still never left Egypt. This is an Egyptian with fringes on and a beard, yelling and screaming Bible verses. You see what I'm saying? And that's how deep the culture runs, and that's in us. Shalom, my brother. Come on.
Verse 2. Only that the generations of the children of Israel might know, to teach them war.
To teach them what?
To teach them war.
That should be the first curriculum to all children. Teach them psychological warfare, and use their language and their curriculum to do so. That way, their language and curriculum is not used to keep us down and oppress. We can start tapping in and becoming CEOs. We can start learning their system and start being above, and start seeing how to run certain companies and things like that. But see, we're using their information to keep us down. We're supposed to take their information and weaponize it and use to bring up our race. Come on.
At the least, such as before knew nothing thereof.
Come on.
Namely, 5 lords of the Philistines, and all the Canaanites, and all the Sidonians, and the Hivites that dwelt in Mount Lebanon, from Mount Baal-Hermon until the entering in the Hamath. And they were to prove Israel by them.
So now we see why some was left over in Israel, even though he told us to go destroy them, utterly destroy them, destroy their culture, kill their gods, knock down their altars, knock down their groves, all of that, destroy their culture. Most High said, man, look, let me prove them. Let me test them. Let me leave a couple of these Canaanites back with their Canaanites gods, and let me see if Israel gonna stick to the culture that I gave them. And guess what? We didn't. We didn't at all. Do y'all realize Christmas is an African thing that don't even come from the European? Christmas was taught to the Europeans by the Africans. Y'all realize that, right? We act like we was just forced into this new mental slavery by this European. They learned from the ones who put us in slavery first, which was the Africans. That's why if you get into the judge, you go into court and you see, and the Arabs, and you see them sitting up on that high judgment seat, and they got that little white thing on their head. All of that is literally on the hieroglyphs in Egypt, y'all. What y'all think we never left Egypt? What y'all think Revelation Chapter 18 talking about? Spiritual Egypt. We in it right now. Just look at the back of your dollar bill. All of them logos and them symbols. Straight up. Come on.
Verse 4. And they were to prove Israel by them.
Right.
To know whether they would hearken unto the commandments of the Lord.
You see that? So he left them there to see if we was going to start listening and hearken unto the commandments of Yahweh, which was to have no type of covenant with them. Don't give your daughters and your sons over to them. You see that? So now it makes sense why we smack there in the middle of Babylon. And we ain't supposed to be making covenants with them. We ain't supposed to be giving over our sons and our daughters to them. You see that? Because there is a cultural difference between them and us, period. Even the way we do math. Look this stuff up. Even the way we add up our math is different from theirs, and we learn from them. We learn from them. We are just so divine in everything we do. They say 2 + 2 is 4. We say 1 + 1 + 2 is 4. Like, it's just even the way we do things is just totally different than them. The way our processes work, our psychological processes work. Come on, brother.
Verse 4, which he commanded their fathers by the hand of Moses. And the children of Israel dwelt among the Canaanites.
See that? So we dwelt among these other cultures and these other people when we were supposed to utterly destroy them. All right, come on.
And the children of Israel dwelt among the Canaanites.
Which we still practicing a lot of their stuff. Come on.
The Hittites.
We still practicing a lot of their religion. This is where you get all of them female gods. If you actually get into the Canaanites and the Hittites language and culture, they believe that the black woman was God. Because let's not forget it twisted. They were black. They weren't Israelites, but they were black. We shared the same melanin. You know what I'm saying? So where do y'all think we getting this idealism from? Where y'all think all these Egyptologists coming up and wanting to drink the black woman's bath water? This came from the Canaanites and the Hittites. Y'all see that? You ain't never heard no European say the black woman's God. Huh? So where did this come from? This come from the oppressors before the European. They learned from them. Come on.
And the Amorites. And the Perizzites.
Come on.
And the Hivites.
Come on.
And Jebusites.
Come on.
And they took their daughters to be their wives.
So didn't he just tell us not to do this? Boy, we so hard-headed. We just want to mix culture so bad, boy. Huh? We just need another culture. Come on.
And gave their daughters to their sons.
Didn't he? Look, we did exactly what he told us not to do. And we wonder why they out there blowing up bombs right now, thinking they was free on July 4th, wearing flag shorts and flag shirts. I even seen a nigga on the way here. Nigga had a bandana, a flag bandana tied around his head. Boy, crazy, man. Ain't producing nothing. You independent, though. Ain't no producer of a damn thing. Stop it. Come on.
And served their gods.
You see that? And they did what? Last but not least, they served their gods. When he told us to go over there and destroy their gods, destroy their culture, and kill them and possess their land. Now we wonder why we have a cultural identity crisis. We done merged our culture. Come on.
And the children of Israel did evil in the sight of the Lord.
You see that? Because they used Yahweh's name in vain. Come on.
And forgot the Lord their God.
Woo.
And served Balaam and the groves.
Come on.
Therefore, the anger of the Lord was hot against Israel.
Right.
And he sold them into the hand of the treacherous of them.
You see that? Now we go into slavery once again. You see, so I just wanted y'all to see, y'all realize things passed down through DNA and genes, right? We done been enslaved to every nation on planet Earth. Y'all see how many people we done been enslaved? Everybody. And that's why we got bits and pieces of everybody information in our DNA. That's why we can just go around and a wicked thought and just pop out of nowhere. Like, my people don't even do that. You see, because we done been enslaved and indoctrined in a mixed culture with every other nation on planet Earth. Do y'all realize, like I'm saying, I can't express it enough. Israelite is one of the newest cultures. Israelite is one of the newest nations on this earth, y'all. We are very, very new. Very new. Very new. And since he gave it to us, we've been giving it away. It's crazy. Come on.
Verse 8. Therefore, the anger of the Lord was hot against Israel. And he sold them into the hand of Chushan-Thutharam, king of Mesopotamia.
See that? You see that? Came up out of Mesopotamia, went right back. Come on.
And the children of Israel served Chushan-Rishathaim 8 years.
Come on.
And when the children of Israel cried unto the Lord raised up a deliverer to the children of Israel.
You see that? He always delivering us. We go through this cycle where we learn a whole nother culture, then Yahweh deliver us. He give us a new schoolmaster, reteach us the culture through the commandments, and then we do it again. Notice that same thing come up out of Egypt. We went to war, cultural differences. That was a war, right? We had the Ark of the Covenant. We had everything to go to war with. We went through the Red Sea. He ended up killing their army, right? We got back over there. Boom, Mount Sinai come. He give us the commandments. The schoolmaster reteach the culture. All right, we get to rebuilding. We get to learn how to build booths, our tents, and all of that. First thing they do is what? Build a golden calf and start stanky legging. You see that? Period. This is how deep this cultural identity crisis is. It's in our DNA that much where we can see miraculous miracles and works of freedom and go against it soon as it's done. Soon as it's done. That's deep. That's deep. Man, that's how I know this will not be an overnight thing. It's truly going to have to be a supernatural deliverance, y'all, to deliver us from ourselves, because we are our own worst enemy, y'all. It'll have to be divine. Think about it. It will have to be divine. Have to be. But we read that scripture that it says what? Rehearse. We have to rehearse, y'all. We have to rehearse these things. Rehearse. Come on.
Verse 9. And when the children of Israel cried unto the Lord raised up a deliverer to the children of Israel, who delivered them, even Othniel, the son of Kenaz, Caleb's younger brother.
Come on.
And the Spirit of the Lord came upon him, and he judged Israel and went out to war.
See that? Always at war. Always at war. Still at war now, but we not trained up. And it just said, teach your children to war. Your children supposed to be your weapons. That's why I said your children are a reward. They stand at the gate and they intercess between you and your enemy because they have the strength. We ain't even teaching them that. Ain't even teaching them no type psychological warfare. All they know is ABCs and 1, 2, 3s, and we clap and say that is good. That is not good enough. That's all you got. All you got. Only thing that we basing that he's intelligent and smart off of is a slave language and a slave curriculum. And he achieved slave goals that's been set for slaves. He got a piece of paper that says that he became more like a slave, a GED, college associate's degree. That just means that you one of the best slaves on a piece of paper. And then they give you minimum wage for it. Give you minimum wage for it. Literally, you going to school and you're going to school to become a slave, to work the best you can inside of a cubicle. That's it. That's it. They ain't got no entrepreneur schools out here. Then they created something called trade schools. But even in them trades, when you get a trade, they automatically put you under a European.
Yep.
And you still getting half that work. Like, this system is not for us. But we are so involved in it, though. We so involved in it. I'm talking about Hebrews. So involved in it. When we truly gonna put together some group economics and build our own things. When we truly just gonna say, you know what, I'm gonna step out on faith. F this job, we finna make this work. Until we able to be a stream and do that, ain't nothing finna work. Ain't nothing finna work. You spending damn near 12 hours a day serving and making him rich. How was you putting that into your family? Where's all the energy? Then you get home, you sleep. You sleepy. So where's the time to even teach the children? Man, look, if you look at this system, man, this system was made to keep us oppressed and down. Yep. And then we get called stupid or infidel or hobos because we promote quit your jobs. Yes, I do. Quit that and become an entrepreneur. Don't be stupid. Make sure you got something saved up, but you should have a system and a brotherhood already put in place there that if you do, we got you. Come on. I already got work for you. You know what I'm saying? But we're not thinking culturally. We thinking so individual. That is an illusion. That's what you call a social illusion, to think that you are only by yourself. You are a part of a people. That people is a part of a culture. That culture is a part of Yahweh. We come straight from the heavens, y'all, but we acting like we were straight created here. Our vessels was created here, not our spirit and our souls. Straight up. We're truly young gods in the flesh, and we acting like the help around here. We the help now. We the help. That's all we are. The original people on planet Earth then became the help to the people it created. Do y'all realize if you get into the psychology of the European, we created the European. They would not be able to rule if we wouldn't submitted ourselves to them. They wouldn't have no economic system if we chose not to use their money. Do y'all realize if you actually look and stand back, the European mindset is a creation of us willing to submit and give them power. We made the European. So as easily as we made them, as easily as we can destroy that same political structure. But we can't, because inwardly we are Negropeans. That's stuff that people don't really want to talk about. That's all I've been studying lately. It blows my mind. Gets me very angry and mad too. And I don't even be mad at them. I be mad at y'all. I be mad at us. Straight, I don't even be mad at them.
No.
What'd you say, Giddy? We be willing, man. I'm talking about, man, crazy, man. Let's keep reading.
Verse 10. And the spirit of the Lord came upon him, and he judged Israel and went out to war.
Come on.
And the Lord delivered Chishan-Rishathaim, king of Mesopotamia, into his hand. And his hand prevailed against Chishan-Rishathaim.
And that's how it always go. That's how it always go. So let's get into some deeper aspects here, because guess who else talked about this a lot? Paul. Who is a Hebrew Israelite? So am I. Then he gets into what a Hebrew Israelite is, those who adopt this, and he straight get into it. And then you see in 1 Corinthians 11, he said, remember the traditions and the ordinance. So Paul was very, very, very pro his culture, y'all. And that's all he went around setting up. He went around straight setting up cultural schools that we call temples. Because what we have failed to realize, our curriculum is the spiritual commandments of Yahweh. Nothing more, nothing less. Off that, we get our education. Off of that, we get our military gain. Off that, we get how to agriculture and cultivate the land and our people. Off that, the woman find her role on how to treat her man. Off that, the man realize find out how to be a producer and provide for the family. So your curriculum is the Bible, y'all. It's nothing else outside of that. Everything else is just extra sources to help you basically fulfill your role as a man of God and a woman of God more. We done flipped it around. I had to realize that all them classes and stuff I was taking a few years back. I mean, I'm in class. I'm missing Shabbat class. Mally, you got this Sabbath day. I got to go to this herbal class. Mally, you got this Sabbath. I got to go to this metaphysical class. I got to get these people's paperwork. I just got to get them. Got to get them. Y'all know who asked me? Somebody asked me. They said, what do you need them for? It seemed like you know every herb. What do you need the piece of paper for? And truly, truly, what came out of my mouth was different. But in my head, it was like, because I need to be accepted. I need to be accepted amongst one of the great, or Dr. Jensen and them. And look, it was all Europeans. It went, I ain't think of Dr. Sabi because he didn't have a certification. I'm thinking about Europe. I wanted to be accepted, but I didn't see that. But culturally deep within, I had that European thirst to be accepted by them. Accepted by them. It's crazy, man. Like, we straight been indoctrinated on so many levels, y'all. And I'm a Hebrew teaching, keeping feast days, wearing fringes, all of that. But I'm talking about I'm leaving Shabbat class earlier, not coming to Shabbat class just to earn a couple pieces of paper that's signed by a white man. Make that make sense. Huh? When it's over 134 herbs mentioned in the Bible. Make that make sense. Man, it's deep, y'all. It's deep. Come on.
Verse 11. And the land had rest 40 years.
Right.
And Othniel, the son of Kenaz, died.
All right, we can stop there right there. Let's go to Romans. We're going to go to the book of Romans. Book of Romans chapter 3. Book of Romans chapter 3. Because we have the benefits and the advantages of us being Jews and the culture that's connected to it. We are literally the oracles of God. Do y'all realize this is what I wrote down? I said, we are Yahweh's library keepers. That's what we are. We are his library keepers. It says we keep the records of our cultural, spiritual behavior that express itself through outer traditions and customs that we call lifestyle. Little thoughts I had. You know what I'm saying? So that's true. That's truly what we are. We are the cultural library keepers for Yahweh, meaning that they can destroy all of our books. Long as one person keep that culture and be able to keep passing it down. That's why you can go to West Africa right now, and they've been keeping Passover for over 600 years with no book. And look, you ask them, where did they get this from? They say, I don't know. My father taught me this. Taught me to get a lamb, cut the goat, cover my head, break bread, and drink wine. You know what I'm saying? If y'all actually watch what is called from slave to Hebrews to Negroes, watch it, man. Look, they in synagogues, they all through Africa, West Africa, y'all. They keeping all traditions and customs and don't even know where it came from. Showing you, look, because you see what happened in the time of Nehemiah. They destroyed all our books. They destroyed, showing you that we are the oracles of God. Literally, this is expressed in our Akashic records. It's in our DNA. Long as we keep teaching our children the biblical curriculum. That's what we need to be teaching. Biblical curriculum, not their education. And it passes down, y'all, and it helps unlock our DNA. I don't know, man. That's deep to me. Y'all looking just that's deep to me, brother. Thinking about it. Y'all just over here looking, stuck. That ain't deep to y'all.
It is.
That is powerful. All right. So look, we in the book of Romans chapter 3. Let's start this deal at once. At 1. And look, this is the first scripture Malaki taught me when I got in the truth. Man, I used to be on the street corner. This is the only one I used to pull, boy. Romans chapter 3. What advantage? Hey, now when I'm looking at this from a cultural standpoint, man, there's so many levels of understanding to this scripture, sister.
Another way especially our children are being indoctrinated, and I don't think we really understand how dangerous it is social media.
Yeah, social, man, that's social media.
Giving them these phones, giving them these phones for entertainment, and then that's just the whole spiritual world that we just allowing them to just suck in.
Yeah, what our sister's saying, she's saying another way that we've been indoctrinated cultural wise and basically having this cultural identity crisis is through social media and how we just giving our children them phones and we put a tablet in their face and you know what we do it for, right? We do it because secretly, subconsciously, our children annoy us.
Yep.
They get to us because we've been taught, but that's what they do to their children. That's what they do today. Like we even father and mother our children the way that they taught us. So the whole thing is, let me get this little Negro out of my face. Here go a tablet. Come get the phone, Shut up, get the phone. Instead of sitting them down and loving them and nurturing them and teaching them, having class with them, having Bible studies. The whole thing is, let me get him up out of my hair. She irritating me right now. Go watch TV. Hold on, go watch a television program. You willfully finna go let this television program and teach your children, but you not finna teach. And then we get mad and wonder why they so jacked up. Product of their environment that you created. Man, it's deep. I totally agree with you on that, sister. Totally agree. All right, we in the book of Romans chapter 3, verse 1.
The book of Romans chapter 3 and 1. What advantage then have the Jew?
Right? What advantage then have the Jew? Now, what was going on in Romans 2? Paul was breaking out that spiritual substance, basically telling y'all, you know what I'm saying, that being a Hebrew Israelite is way beyond the just keeping commands. And he like, look, those who are Jew is a Jew inwardly. You know what I'm saying? He's not talking about another nation that can just come in and be baptized and they become a Jew. He ain't saying that. He was talking about people actually coming into their divinity. But he was saying, don't be so much into the outer cup. It's about who you are. Now, remember what I was stating. Culture starts spiritually first. This is a concept and an idea. Then it trickled down. Once you start to practice, now we see it outwardly. You know what I'm saying? For instance, I was talking to the Rib earlier today. We was talking about her hair. She had a scripture about her glory being her hair. And she like, well, is my hair really my glory? And she asked me what glory meant. And I was getting into kabod and how it just means splendor and mean light. So what I was telling her is technically your hair is not your glory. It's just it's an inward spiritual thing that's produced through an outer validation. You see what I'm saying? So your hair is not your glory, but since it's on your head, you tapping back into your natural way shows that you have a covering. You have to have a covering. Then we went to that 1 Corinthians. That's the reason why I got this on here, because it's gonna go into the traditions. Because notice he said keep the traditions and the ordinance, and then what it go into the hierarchy of man and woman and how man should uncover his head and women should cover hers. So once you truly get into the tradition of why they have their hair wrapped, it's a spiritual meaning first. Then from that spiritual meaning, they started covering their head. Ain't no woman just wake up and put a covering over her head and said, this is culture. It came from an idea first. So a culture is an idea. It's a framework. Then we have to manifest it and work it out outwardly. But we done lost ideas, y'all. We following other people's ideas and protocol. Where's our invention mindset at? Where's our creative mindset and structures at? We just do monkey see, monkey do now. Straight up. That's all we do. They make soap. I'm making soap. They do. I'm doing this. It's like, when are we going to become problem solvers? Because that's what a culture is. A culture is a group of people that know how to solve problems. And then from that, now it's okay, let's see how we can make monetary gain off solving other people's problems. Now let's find a relationship to build with another people so they can pay us to solve their problems. Y'all see what I'm saying? But this start off as a construct. This is a concept. Then it manifests physically. We have lost the concept of everything. But it's all in the book, showing you how to do it. We don't really be reading, man. So what advantage then have the Jew?
Or what profit is there of circumcision?
See that? What profit is there of circumcision? Now, that's another concept. Another concept is this. You had to be circumcised by the what first? The heart. Because you can be circumcised down there and still be a heathen by mindset. Showing you something spiritual that trickled down and became physical. So culture, again, is a what? It's a mental aspect at first. Then it becomes physical. Because yes, because you can get the tip of your foreskin snipped on your penis and still be committing all types of sins and whoredom. Is that cultural? Ain't that against the culture of Yahweh? Showing you that it's a construct, it's an idea. And then once you embody the idea and put it in practice, now we see you manifesting it out physically. That's deep. All right, come on, brother.
Verse 2, much every way. Chiefly.
See that? So look, what advantage had a Jew? What profit his circumcision? It says much every way, chiefly. Now, what profit his culture? Because the circumcision was part of what? The culture.
That's right.
Y'all see that?
Yep.
See, look, if you really start just reading this with a cultural mindset, that's all of them talked about. From Moses all the way to John and Revelation, it was all about culture. And then look, the Bible ends so beautiful. The Bible ends on the culture being 100% fully restored with the language. Boy,
in the land.
Boy, in the land. Rebuilt. Man, that's go hard, man. This is a revolutionary book, man. Period. That's what it is. It's a book that take back your true identity and culture. Straight up. And then from Genesis to Revelation, it shows the beginning, the fall, the ups, the down, to the restoring of a culture, giving us back our identity, for we will no longer have an identity crisis, y'all. Man, it's deep, man. It's deep. Come on, bro.
Because that unto them were committed the oracles of the Most High.
You see that? So that's what profit us. Because we became the library keepers of Yahweh. You need to hear the word of Yahweh, you're going to have to go to a prophet. You're going to have to go to a synagogue. Now, if you read all throughout scripture, it was culture. On Sabbath days, your butt had to be in the synagogue. That's culture. It's all through the scripture. All through the scripture. On Shabbat day, where you at? The synagogue. Where Christ was at on the synagogue, holding that book up, teaching. And it says because it was custom that he did that. So that's what we need to start tapping back into. It shouldn't be no brothers not here on Shabbat day. That's your culture. You should be here, willing and eager to listen to the words of the prophets, because that's part of culture. Same way that you go to feast days, you need to be at the synagogue, at the temple, because that's part of the culture. These are things that's going to keep us together. And these are things how we're going to start coming up with ideas. Notice Negroes come up with ideas when they're together. Nobody coming up with no amazing ideas by themselves. It'd be from us having these cultural conversations, and then boom, dang, if we do this, then we can do that, and we can do this. Now we got a whole new system running, and we adding to the what? Culture. Because the culture is supposed to evolve. It's not supposed to stay stagnant. Just like the language evolved, the culture evolved with the language. Y'all seen the picture? In the beginning, I pulled up a picture. Let me pull it up real quick. Yeah. Now check this out. Yeah, if y'all looking. Hey, hand me the computer charge out of there. Now, I just pulled up a picture if y'all can look at it. Now, this picture, at the top of this picture, y'all, the first thing we see in the middle is the culture. At the top of it, it says language, because the language is the first thing that starts creating a culture. Notice that's the reason why the first thing they had to get rid of when we got brought over here, they say, let's do what? Let's change these niggas' language, because that's going to keep them connected to their identity, their culture, their God. See that? He plugs the computer up, y'all. He plugs up, bro. Then the second thing we see is what? Communication. Once we have the language, now we can start communicating with one another. We can start building with one another. You see that? Then after that, the courtesies. Then look, notice what come right after that. The rituals. What is rituals in the Bible? The sacrificial laws, them are rituals. All of them, cutting the goat's neck, spilling the blood over the altar to be forgiven for your sins. Sin offerings, these are rituals. Lighting up an incense and praying and hoping that your prayers will go up with the incense to the altar in the temple in heaven. That's a ritual. That's what these are. What I'm saying, everybody say rituals are devilish, and all these rituals of other gods is. We have our own rituals, have our own feast days. Literally drinking wine and symbolizing it as blood and eating some bread and symbolizing it as the flesh of Christ is a ritual. Let's quit playing. Let's quit playing here. No, every people got a ritual. That's why we have to look. Now, once you get your ritual, now your roles come into play. All right, I'm getting in the groove of this. Let me find my role. All of this is what makes a culture. Because everybody can't be the same. We need somebody to heal. We need somebody to go make soaps. We need somebody sewing. We need somebody over the bank and the treasury. We need somebody good with combat. We need somebody good with building. See that? Oh, now we got services we can offer each other. Then once we advance our civilization, meaning Israel, now we can lend out a hand to help out the world, which means being light unto who? The Gentiles. Y'all see how the scripture work? Man, look, hey, this book so real, it be blowing. Look, man, look, this book been blowing my mind. I ain't gonna even lie. That's all. I don't even need to read nothing else. Straight up, I be in this book. It blows my mind how much he love us. I mean, on many thousands of labors on. I mean, I've been reading the same scripture for 10 years, and I'm finally like, dang, that's what he meant. Then next year it's gonna be a whole nother meaning. See what I'm saying? Then after that, you get into your customs. After the roads, you get into your customs, your traditions. That's what truly make a people. You see that? Y'all see a bunch of Mexicans walking around with margaritas and Corona bottles, and they eating. Y'all already know. Oh, it must be the Feast of the Dead. They ain't even got to tell you what it is. Just by seeing a people and what they're doing, you know exactly what they represent. Just like if you see a Negro with one pants leg up and the other one down with his hat cocked to the right with a red rag, you know he a blood. Representing a whole made-up culture. Just like if you see a brother with some fringes, out a big old beard, wearing a Bible, oh, he a Hebrew Israelite. You see that? But the whole thing is when you open your mouth, is that mind frame gonna match the identity that you portray. And that is our problem. We have an identity crisis, and it's not outwardly. We look like Hebrews, we dress the part, we even talk the part, but we not living it. We not walking it. You see what I'm saying? We're not walking in it. I just having a conversation earlier, and it was about falling in love. You know what I'm saying? We ain't supposed to be falling in love with our God. We're supposed to be standing in love with our God, walking in love with our God. That's a culture. A culture is something that advance and move forward. Have we moved forward? We haven't. I mean, just look. A lot of planning, but do anything get executed? No, we haven't. And the true reason is this, that we have our own individual selfish problems, y'all. And a lot of it is European constructs that's been put on us, y'all. Period. There's a lot of European constructs that's deep within our subconscious program and our subconscious mind. And your subconscious mind is your soul, and he's judging your soul. Notice that. Notice you can't pull out a thought from your subconscious mind and know you're consciously thinking about it. So you getting judged for things that you don't even know you truly thinking about. We have to reprogram our minds, y'all. We truly do. That's how deep that is. Then look, once you get to that, we got the customs down. Now we get into the relationships. All right, relations meaning to join with somebody, to somebody relate to you. A ship is where cargo used to go. You know what I'm saying? Cargo and merchandise, and the ship would go from here to there very quick. So what they use ships to do, you can go on the ocean and you can transfer. So anytime you hear something that's about a relationship, it's a relation that you have with somebody that is going somewhere. That's a relationship. Y'all see that? Got to get into the etymology of these words here. So a lot of people in a relationship and ain't going no damn where. Okay, y'all not in a relationship. Y'all playing around. And we supposed to be in a relationship with our God. Then after that, be in a relationship with one another. Now we can offer the Gentiles something. But how can we offer them something if we ain't even building up our own community and culture? Makes no sense. Then from there it goes into practices, because now we got the laws and commands. All right, we're gonna got all these. We got the communication, the language, courtesies, rituals, roles, customs, relationship. Now it's time to start practicing. All right, thou shalt not, thou shalt not. God said, God said. Once you practice that, now it's the expected behaviors that come from it. You see that? That's next. Expected behaviors. All right, you know the law of God, but are you doing it? I expect you to do this. You see that? Then after that, values, or what we call rewards. It's a reward for you being a man of God. It's a reward for you helping out your brother. It's a reward for you cultivating your land. Things harvest and grow from it. It's a reward for these things. Then after that, thought patterns, which makes the whole entire culture. Then your manners of interacting. Now we can start teaching other people our culture. See that? Notice when the Gentile came in, they had to fully learn the culture, cut their hair, shave their hair bald, and cut their nails. You know what I'm saying? Now, even when they came in, they still was considered strange. They ain't all the way in. They can't get into the temple and stuff like that. But notice that they had to fully embody the culture. And this is what Malaki was touching on last night. That's what makes a culture of people. That's what makes a culture of people. All right. Y'all got that, type of some knives, and we'll get back to the scripture. And I know y'all key on that culture again. It ain't nothing else to talk about. Let me know if y'all got that. Type of some knives. We're going to keep reading. All right, Lord, yeah. All right, let's start back from 1, big bro.
Okay, Romans chapter 3, verse 1. What advantage then have the Jew?
Right.
Or what profit is there of circumcision?
Oof.
Verse 2. Much every way.
Chiefly mean firstly. First off. First off, come on.
Because that unto them were committed the oracles of Yah.
See that? We are truly the library and record keepers of Yahweh. Do y'all realize how beautiful that is?
Yeah.
That you are the library and record keeper of Yahweh. You straight the guardians of his word. Hey, that is deep. That is deep, y'all. That's very deep. Meaning, because look, the culture is in his word, right?
Shoot your eye out, kid.
The blueprint is in his word, right? The laws is in his word, right? So how did we forget our culture when we are the keepers of the culture? That doesn't even make sense.
The guardians of the throne.
The guardians of the throne, baby. Come on.
Verse 3. For what if some did not believe?
Now, he's not talking about Gentiles here. He's saying, what if other Hebrews that got their own identity crisis going on don't believe what I just said? That we were the library keepers of Yahweh, that we were the oracles of Yahweh. It says, what if some don't believe this? Because you get that a lot, especially when you start being how we are very extreme when it comes to the word of God. People looking at you like you crazy. Huh?
Extreme.
Very extreme, which is what we supposed to be.
He's an extremist.
It said, what if some other Israelites don't agree, don't believe? Come on.
Shall their unbelief make the faith of Yah without effect?
Come on.
Yah forbid.
That mean not only no, but hell no. That ain't changing nothing. Come on.
Yea, let the Most High be true.
Right.
But every man a liar.
Uh-huh.
As it is written, that thou mightest be justified in thy saying, and mightest overcome when thou art judged.
Come on, brother.
Verse 5. But if our unrighteousness commend the righteousness of Yah, what shall we say?
You see that? Come on.
Is the Most High unrighteous who taketh vengeance?
No, we not.
I speak as a man.
Come on.
The Most High forbid. For then how shall the Most High judge the world?
Uh-huh.
For if the truth of the Most High have more abounded through my life unto his glory, why yet am I also judged as a sinner?
Come on.
And not rather as we be slanderously reported, and as some affirm that we say, let us do evil, that good may come. Whose damnation is just.
And that just show you too in Romans 7, when he's asking all them questions. He's like, look, even though sin is abound, even though I'm committing sin, do that make the word of God a lie? He's like, no, I know I'm committing sin because the word of God. You see that? So when you truly get into Paul, his whole thing was going around and he was hollering at these Pharisees in their ways. He like, man, y'all looking the part, y'all dressing the part, but you Negroes wicked. Y'all straight against the culture. Y'all want to stay oppressing people. Y'all want to be over y'all brothers. Y'all don't want no brothers coming at y'all and condemning y'all for the wrong y'all doing. Y'all want to be over the money. Y'all want to be over the treasury. Y'all want to be over the temple. Y'all want to be over everything that brings y'all fleshly monetary gain. But anytime it comes to lifting another brother up through the spirit of Christ, y'all trying to kill them and y'all down them and y'all persecuting them. Bruh, like if y'all want to get into some Hebrews that was anti-cultural, boy, start studying them Pharisees and them Sadducees and them, boy. They were straight anti-culture. Dressed in the culture, though. Meat trees, had the head covered the whole.
That was the deception.
Straight up.
That was the deception.
Yeah. Yeah.
Very cold-hearted.
Very cold-hearted.
Devils.
Yeah. Straight anti-culture against their brother. Let's go to Romans. Book of Romans chapter 9. We're going to do yeah, I'm wrong with that. I'm done with that. Book of Romans chapter 9. And then Paul get deep into this, y'all. Yeah, it do. We're going to start this deal at 1. It do.
I heard some feelings on this.
Yeah.
hurt feelings.
Yeah.
Can I get that one too, brother? Certain things need to be expressed.
Most definitely.
In this chapter right here. All right, let me know the story.
All right, let's go and get it.
Romans 9:1. I say the truth in Christ.
Ooh.
I lie not. My conscience also bear me witness in the Holy Ghost.
So everything he's finna say after this is for and on the record, he's saying.
That's right.
Come on.
That I have great heaviness and continual sorrow in my heart. For I could wish that myself were accursed from Christ.
Ooh.
For my brethren. For my kinsmen according to the flesh.
Now, ain't that pro culture, pro your people? He like, man, I wish I can just get hit if I can save my people. Who doing that? Because that's going to be the first thing that it take. You know what I'm saying? It's going to take those individuals. And that's why we read, and we're going to go back there to that Judges chapter 3. What Deborah say? She like, look, man, I straight honor those who the leaders of Israel who came before me and sacrificed themselves before Israel. She said, because at this time ain't nobody standing up but me. She said, I, Deborah, arose when Yahweh called. Where are the men at? Where are the men of war, the mighty man, the captain of 50? Deborah straight, hey, we're going to go back to there. I don't think y'all heard this a woman straight like, hold on, man. What's going on? Because she stood up in those days. And she called herself the mother of Israel. You see that? But one thing she did is she honored those and she shouted those out who sacrificed themselves on the behalf of the culture for Israel. Who doing that now? Who willing to sacrifice themselves just for the rest of our people to get it? It's going to take this type of extremeness to get our culture back. Notice who else? Every other nation do it. Every other nation do it. Y'all see the jihad? They're going to blow themselves up just to go see 12 virgins or whatever for their culture. You see what I'm saying? You got deeper stream Navy SEALs that they were going to a country just 3 by themselves in hostile environment. You know what I'm saying? Just to overthrow that land to keep the USA up. You go to Boca Haram, all of them, they fighting for their cause. Even though their cause ain't righteous at all, they are fighting and dying and sacrificing themselves for their cause. But the Negro so scared of death, so scared of death because it's been installed in him so deeply by this European that anything that feel like it's gonna hurt, we don't want no parts of it. And that's why a lot of Hebrew Israelites that know they're Hebrew Israelites is straight set up for this mark of the beast construct, y'all. Straight up. Oh, dang, not eat, not live normal. Let me get that chip. Where you put it in my hand or where? Just let me get it. It's gonna be a look. I'm telling y'all, what we see ain't what it is, y'all. I'm telling y'all, this is a big old social illusion. For real. A lot of outward appearance. And inwardly, man, dead. Ain't nothing going on. Vain. Straight up. Straight up. A lot of this is not even, ain't even willed. You shouldn't have to constantly push your brother. They should be willed into doing this. Yeah. You should be so tapped into the culture that we beating each other at the doors. We beating each other to get on the street corners. See that? Like when you truly look at what's going on here, a lot of us is very, 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 very comfortable being Negropeans. And we just throw on this Hebrew Israelite cover. You know what I'm saying? But you ain't fooling nobody but yourself. You ain't fooling nobody but yourself. Straight up. Straight up. This should be a race to spit the word of God. A race to commune amongst one another. A race to help build each other up. A race to get on the street corners. You know what I'm saying? A race to be the first one to talk to somebody about who we are as a people. We shouldn't have to be. We shouldn't have to do all of that, y'all. We supposed to be in it. Like in it to win it. That's
right. Straight
up. I should never have to ask where nobody at. Because we should always be here. Period. That's how deep this is, y'all. This is some serious shit. This is serious, y'all. Do y'all realize how serious this is? This is life to death. Life to death. And we playing around with it. It's funs and games. We do this as a sport now. You know, this is for television, for YouTube. No, it's not. We do this when the cameras is off. It's real. Y'all know how much people and souls that we are accountable for? Do y'all realize that? Do y'all realize that? And we just out there letting them do whatever. It's cool. Only time it ain't cool is when the camera's on. No, man, we got to change that, man. Straight up. That's the culture. When you get into culture, that's a lifestyle. Everything with that picture I showed y'all, that was a lifestyle. That's not an every Saturday thing. It's not an every feast day thing. We straight got to live this book, man. Straight up. You got anything to say, big bro?
Now I'm saying what Paul was saying in that verse 3 is powerful because he's saying, I would rather myself miss the mark and get cut off from the Messiah. So my nation could get it.
And who else said that?
My brethren, my kinsmen, according to the flesh.
Moshe.
To be accursed from Christ is not a good thing.
Not at all.
He's saying, I wish that myself were accursed from Christ.
That's deep.
For my brethren, my kinsmen, according to the flesh, so that I would be cut off, so my brethren and kinsmen
That's deep.
could get this understanding.
That's deep, bro.
That's pure selflessness.
Yeah.
That's right.
Pure
That's
selflessness.
powerful. That's so powerful what he's saying. He's saying, look, I'll get cut off and miss the mark, so you can make the king.
What?
And they got the nerve to call this man a sellout.
That's what I'm saying. He was the look. I'm gonna keep it 100. The more and more I read him, I think he was the most radical extremist there was when it comes to his people. And he culture war.
Like you just been saying,
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? The whole thing is a cultural war.
And then when they called him out, big bro, remember they called him out. He say, "Who a Hebrew? So am I." He like,
right.
I ain't got what you mean.
Maybe get the brag about infirmity.
Hey, straight up.
Getting beat that year.
Yeah.
Paul was that dude.
Yeah.
So that's powerful for any man to say or a woman to say, I'll miss the mark so you can make it.
Man,
we cut me off so my brethren, my kinsmen, according to the flesh, verse 4, who are Israelites.
Who are what?
Israelites. To whom pertaineth the adoption.
Now we get into culture. See that? So just Israelite is not a culture, y'all. Hebrew Israelite is not a culture, y'all. This is a title. Hebrew means Abari, one who crosses over. Abraham didn't get this till chapters on in. Y'all realize that, right? Come from Eber, right? Israelite is one who is connected to the power or the prince of the power. This is a mental title that's put upon a specific group of people because they're living and walking out the title. Dang, they crossed over and they connected to the power. This is expressed outwardly, y'all. This is just not in the title. See what I'm saying? So look, he say, who is an Israelite? Now he finna start showing the culture. It says one who pertaineth the adoption. Come on.
And the glory.
And the glory, which what the real was talking about early, the glory. This glory, it comes from on, that's the kabod. It comes from on high. That's why I said we supposed to be a light unto the Gentile. When you truly get into glory, it's talking about the splendorness of Yah. I'm supposed to be able to look, you supposed to be rocking your culture so hard that when you walk past a Gentile, they be like, man, I want to be like you. And when y'all get them fringes, what is that you wearing?
I just meant God.
Yeah, but what is they following you? Man, I was just watching Malcolm X the other day, and I remember old boy, that police beat him up. He got sent to the hospital. Yeah. And Denzel Washington, he walked down to the precinct. You know what I'm saying? And he regulated his culture. You know, he regulated. Do y'all realize how many people that gained that day? It was so deep before he left. The white cop said, don't no nigga need that much power.
That's right.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? Imagine we rocking the culture so hard that anything we walk by, our shadow heal. Anything we walk by, they just want to be a part of. They don't even know what it is. They just want to be a part of it. You know what I'm saying? Like what?
Like they just talking at the Most High.
Yeah.
We supposed to be his mouthpiece.
You know what I'm saying? We can't be doing that though. We looking just like them, pants sagging just like them, rocking they shorts. You know what I'm saying? Rocking they. It's time to truly transition. I'm telling you, I was stuck in it. I got every pair of Jordans in the world. Ask my women, ask my wives. I got every pair. I was stuck in it. Till you get, you're like, damn, I'm teaching him the word of God, but you know what I'm saying? The only thing different from me and him is what's coming out my mouth. Now I know certain things he can identify and it's gonna make him listen because I do look like him. But when it's gonna be the point, like, man, nigga, you know, you look just like me out here. You sag like me, nigga. I ain't even listening to you. You see what I'm saying? So, but imagine me on the streets in garments, my ZZs hanging. You know what I'm saying? Dripped in my gold. I got my fringes on, and you know, man, that conversation gonna be told. It's gonna get perceived different because it's gonna be like, man, I see that this is a nigga, but what? You know what I'm saying?
Nigga in a robe, child.
You see what I'm saying? That culture, because the culture speaks for the people, y'all. We don't speak for ourselves. Our culture speaks for us. Our culture speaks for us. And look, this is how much we influence the world. You have Chinese rappers.
Yeah, look China Mac.
You got Korean breakdancers. All this came from us. The culture we created. But everybody else is doing it. So that means they watching, y'all. Now, if they watching these other nations, imagine our little children. You see that? So it's truly, truly time to find our identity and our cultural identity. And we got to get away from this identity crisis we got going on, y'all. We truly do. Go ahead, bro.
And the covenants.
Ooh.
And the giving of the law.
See that? So what came to us was the pertain of the adoption, being adopted back into sons of Elohim. 1 John 3 talks about that. The glory, us being a light to the Gentiles, shining a light for them, for they can see like, dang, the God of Yahweh is where it's at. God, let me go cut my nails and shave my head. I need to be down with that. You see that? The covenant is the promises. You see that? All the things that he promised Abraham, our forefather, which is a great inheritance, many riches. Because y'all realize before we get Israel back, right? Y'all realize all that gold and stuff getting gathered back to us. We gonna read it. All that gold coming back.
That's right.
You see that?
Run that.
Run that back. Same way with Egypt. Then after that, it says the giving of the law. Oh, okay. Morality come in. Yes, culture comes with a morality law. You know right from wrong. You know how to serve your God. Come on, brother.
And the service of Yah.
And the service of Yah. Us being kings, prophets, and priests. Come on.
And the promises.
Ooh, that's beautiful. Come on, brother.
Verse 5. Whose are the fathers, and of whom, as concerning the flesh, Messiah came.
Ooh.
Who was over all. The Heavenly Father blessed forever.
Uh-huh.
Amen.
Amen. Come on, brother.
Not as though the word of the Most High have taken none effect.
Right.
For they are not all Israel.
Y'all hear that? Because all of them are not Israel because they have cultural identity crisis. A lot of them are anti-culture. Now, look, this is a brother that come from amongst these type of people, amongst people that got the outer cup looking like they down. But look, these same brothers are straight trying to kill him. So he like, look, man, all Israel ain't Israel. You can be dressing the part, but you can't be walking the part, and you ain't walking the part. We got to be careful with that because we will fall into the idea of something and we won't embody the idea. So long as you look good on the outer appearance, that's just cool enough. You cool. No, that make you realize how lazy and spiritual lazy they make you. Straight up. We have to push each other every day and push ourselves. Our whole thing should be, I'm beating him there. That need to be our new concept. I'm beating him there. I'm gonna make sure I'm there before him. Straight up. Come on.
For they are not all Israel, which are of Israel.
Ooh.
Verse 7. Neither because they are the seed of Abraham.
See that? Just because you come from the seed of Abraham don't make you Israel. And when that's physically and spiritually. Huh? Straight up. Because Abraham, the father of many nations. He speaks, that can go both ways. Everybody's not a Hebrew Israelite. You got Hebrew Edomites, Hebrew Ishmaelites. Everybody not a Hebrew Israelite just because you from the seed of Abraham. And then spiritually, everybody not an Israelite just because you an Israelite. Straight up. I know who you are by the culture. Because your culture consists of a land, a language, of God, a clothing, a material, rituals, communication. But notice that whole thing started from a language. That language is powerful, y'all. And that's what I wrote. I said language is your DNA expressing itself verbally. Straight up. Y'all have to dive. You can't be up here trying to teach all day and don't know the language. Straight up. It's certain instances in the Bible that it means something totally different when you get in the language. So we have to learn the language too. Don't let nobody keep y'all from that because that's the base of who you are as a people. Your language. Notice that as soon as somebody starts speaking another language around you, you automatically know that they not from here. Oh, that's another different group of people. They can look just like you. As soon as they open their mouth, you be like, hold on. Okay, I thought this was that nigga. He an African. All because the language. That language is very important. Come on.
Verse 7. Neither because they are the seed of Abraham.
Ooh.
Or are they all children?
See that? Are they all children?
Are they all children? But in Isaac shall thy seed be called.
See that? Woo! Come on.
That is, they which are the children of the flesh.
Ooh, see that?
These are not the children of Yah.
That's deep. Come on.
But the children of the promise, accounted for the seed.
Accounted for the seed. See that?
Who's the children of the promise?
Yeah, the Israelites.
Verse 4. Who are Israelites?
We are straight different people, y'all, with a different culture. And look, Paul just separated that physically and spiritually. It ain't no way around this Romans 9, y'all.
For verse 8, that is, they which are the children of the flesh.
Oh, he's speaking fleshly.
these are not the children of God.
Right.
But the children of the promise are counted for the seed.
Come on.
Verse 9. For this is the word of promise. At this time will I come, and Sarah shall have a son.
Right.
Not only this, but when Rebekah also had conceived by one, even by our father Isaac, for the children being not yet born,
right,
neither having done any good or evil.
Come on.
That the purpose of Yah,
right,
according to election, might stand.
Y'all see that? Now look, this shows you that you didn't just purposely become a black man or a black woman. This straight was chosen in you before you was even thought of in your mother's womb. This how you know you've been here before. And I don't mean reincarnation. You was in the heavens before you manifested through the seed of your father and grabbed onto the egg of your mother, y'all. So meaning you were straight chosen to be a Hebrew Israelite in the cosmos, in the galaxy, before you was ever even thought of physically. Do y'all realize they put a whole different perspective on blackness, y'all? Straight up. So you was black before you was black. That's deep. And I'm saying black because of people that's going to be listening, something for y'all to identify. Y'all know I'm talking about Israelite. But you were straight chosen before you was even thought of. Meaning that you don't get into the womb and be like, you know what? I'm going to decide this baby's going to be white. No, this is straight chosen. Right. This predestined and chosen, man, way before you was even thought of. Meaning you was a chosen seed. You was an Israelite that from adoption, the promises, the glory, the splendor, all of this before you even had this vehicle. Man, that's dope.
Verse 11 again.
That's dope.
For the children being not yet born.
Yeah.
Neither having done any good or evil.
That
the purpose of Yah according to election might stand.
Come on.
Not of works, but of him that calleth.
See that? But him that calleth. We've been called, y'all. That's why we the color we is.
Verse 12. It was said unto her.
Hold on, brother. Somebody said, and they say spirit have no color. That's a damn lie. Huh? For real. Before everything was melanin is. Straight up. Carbon, sugar, crystallized sugar, melanin. Why y'all think y'all look up in that sky at that night? All that blackness y'all see between that dark matter, that's what you created out of. That come from the heavens, not from earth. That's in your blood. That's in every neuromelanin transmitter inside your body. Everything about you is melanin. Everything about you is so-called black. Spirit most definitely have a color. Let's see how God look. Let's see how God look in his spirit, the God of Israel, which is Christ. Let's see how Christ look in his spiritual body. In Revelation chapter 1, verse 14. Y'all realize that was Christ in his glorified body, right? He was in the temples in the heavens, right? And his train filled the temples in the heavens. That was a black man in the heavens? Then you go over to Daniel and they talk about his father, who looked just like him. Spirit most definitely have a color. Man, I know, man. It's hot. We got it down. Turn it down to 6. Turn it all the way down. Yeah, make sure the heat ain't on. All right, let's get it. We in a chapter. All right, we in verse 11.
Verse 12.
Verse 12.
It was said unto her, the elder shall serve the younger.
Right.
As it is written, Jacob have I loved, but Esau have I hated. For the children being not yet born, neither having done any good or evil, that the purpose of Yah according to election might stand.
We can stop there right there. We can stop there right there and get deep. Man. Now, what I want to go into now is just show how Paul was on these customs and traditions hard. So, and we see how deep the culture is. We went into Deuteronomy chapter 7. We see what he did. He told us to go into that land, utterly destroy everything. He made a covenant with us. He called us a special people. He just showed them, I'm going to give y'all culture, rock the culture. But in order for you to fulfill this, once you go into this other land, you have to kill them and their culture. Not only he said that, he said you got to kill their gods, you got to kill their groves, you got to kill their images, their idols, and he said burn them. Burn them. This is how deep a cultural war is, y'all. And we in a cultural war right now. We got on Jordans, we got on t-shirts that's been made by companies that's not owned by our people. We passing around debt notes with white dead presidents on them, which are slave masters. Then they got a pyramid, which represents Egypt on the left. Then they got a flying eagle, which represents the European on the right. Everything we do is for this cultural construct, but we're not doing nothing to bring power back to ours. See that? And it starts little, just by, for real, just shopping all black. That's little weapons that start bringing this back together. See that? Shopping all black. Finding companies that's black owned that make your clothing. You see that? A brother making some shoes, go buy them. He a Hebrew, he making shoes, rock them. Throw yours away. It's just so many things that we can start taking the initiative to doing to start bringing power back into our groups. But we're not doing that because on a subconscious level, y'all, this European done invaded our souls. The European is in our souls now, y'all. The subconscious mind is the soul. This European is in our souls. Straight up. That's deep. That is deep. We even naming our foods soul food. That is slave food. We even putting names on it. Man, it is crazy. This is how deep that they invaded our subconscious mind. And we wonder why we have a cultural identity crisis. Look what's going on. Just go out in Genesis and smell. It's all pork in the air right now. All pork in the air right now. Straight up. It's crazy. All right, from there, let's go. Nope, let's pull that too. Let's do that too. I want to go back into this Judges 5 real quick to show y'all the board, man. She went in, man. It's Judges 5 real fast. Let's go back there real fast, and then we're gonna keep it pushing. Judges chapter 5. My bad, y'all, for the heat, for the air. We should have turned that deal on last night. Hey, Judges 5. Start that deal at 1 again. Judges 5 and 1 more time. That way y'all can see what she was saying.
Judges chapter 5, verse 1. Then sang Deborah and Barak, the son of Abinoam.
It's a song.
Yeah, straight song.
On that day, saying, praise ye the Lord for the avenging of Israel.
Ooh.
When the people willingly offered themselves.
You see that? So she like, man, look, this one people used to offer themselves for Yahweh.
That means these are lyrics.
Yeah. Yeah, willingly. Yeah. Go for it. Like Eleazar. You're like, nah, take me to the chopping block. Before I disrespect the culture, you know what I'm saying? Disrespect my God. No, I'm going to take my head. He said he walked boldly. He walked boldly to his death. Come on.
Hear, O ye kings. Give ear, O ye princes. I, even I, will sing unto the Lord. I will sing praise to the Lord God of Israel.
Come on.
Lord, when thou wentest out of Seir, when thou marchest out of the field of Edom, the earth trembled, and the heavens dropped. The clouds also drop water.
So she's singing to Yahweh about all the war that he done brought on other people for us.
That's right.
See that? Ain't that crazy? Only person going to war for our culture is Yahweh. We ain't doing a damn thing about it. We ain't doing nothing about it. We just letting them we just letting them tear down our culture. Straight up. One thing I am good to see, man. Hey, a lot of Hebrews is, boy, they jacking social media up with 4th of July. I said, this is what we need more of this. And they on Facebook, boy, going in on for everybody. But that's what we need. But it need to be the same way when a holy feast day coming. You don't see that on holy. You don't see everybody promoting that. But you sure gonna hear Christmas, Easter, and all of that on the airways, the radio, everything. They promoting their culture. You see that? We'll tear down theirs, but we won't promote ours, though. We'll tear theirs down, but we won't promote ours. But they'll promote theirs. Like, we just have to change psychological warfare. Why are we not weaponizing our mindset back? They weaponize against us, and they're literally physically and spiritually killing us dead. And we ain't busting back. Not busting back. It's crazy. How you in the truth and your child don't even know you in the truth? You in the truth, your child ain't even been to a feast day. It's just crazy how this stuff is working. Come on.
Verse 5. The mountains melted from before the Lord. Even that Sinai from before the Lord God of Israel.
Right.
In the days of Shamgar, the son of Anath. In the days of Jael. The highways were unoccupied.
See that? The highways were unoccupied. Come on.
And the travelers walked through byways.
Come on.
The inhabitants of the villages ceased.
Ooh.
They ceased in Israel. Until that I, Deborah, arose.
You see that? She like, I rose up and changed some things. Come on.
That I arose a mother in Israel.
Come on.
They choose new gods.
You see that? Now look, this is what she's saying. Once you choose a new God, what come after that? Read that.
They choose new gods, and then was war in the gates.
Y'all see that? That's what come when you choose to serve another culture. War is the direct effect of it, y'all. Straight up. You digging your own grave. Digging your own grave. Come on.
Was there a shield or spear sing among 40,000 in Israel?
You see that? What are weapons of war?
What a man.
Put a man at. Huh?
Look, the weapons ain't even ours. I mean, the men ain't now.
Man gone because they chose to embody another culture.
Everybody had.
You see that? It's all good. And that's crazy. And like we straight be joining the militaries and going to fight a war that ain't even ours. But you're not going to even fight a straight cultural war that's been waged against your people for eons. And we wonder why we in the position we in. Wonder why. You go work a 9 to 5 and overtime to get that money. You see that? But you ain't got no type of faith to even take a leap. And be like, you know what? Man, F this job. F these people. I'm too smart to be out here working for a heathen. I can bring in my own substance and put some money together and create something with the brotherhood.
That's right.
Like the man, look, the way we've been jacked up is crazy. Straight up. I'm just keep it real. Let's keep it real. And then we brag on the job we got. Like it means something. You just a higher paid slave than I. What do that mean? Come on.
Verse 9. My heart is toward the governors of Israel.
Ooh, see that? Her heart is toward the governors, meaning the leaders of Israel. See that? Come on.
That offer themselves willingly among the people.
You see that? She talking about the ones that offer themselves, sacrifice themselves for the people's sake. Come on.
Bless ye the Lord.
All right, that's what I just wanted to show y'all that. So Deborah straight honored that. She like, man, but she did the same thing. You know what I'm saying? Made them hard decisions. So like when I say I do this for the culture, I mean that to my deepest core, y'all. Like we do this for the culture for real. This is all it's about. It ain't about nothing else. It's all it's about. And guess who was the main revolutionary man that walked this earth and showed and brought the example? Christ. He was straight a black revolutionary, y'all. That's what he was. That's what he was. Straight up. He was the first one that did it. The first one to show revolt. Then after that revolt, you start seeing Nat Turner, everybody rising up. Straight up. Everybody. Straight up. All right, from there, let's go to Amos chapter 3, and then you had that you had something Maccabee, right?
Oh yeah, Deuteronomy 12.
Let's get that first. Deuteronomy 12 and what?
Deuteronomy 12, 1 through 4. All
right, let me get that. Deuteronomy 12. We're going to Deuteronomy 12, y'all, 1 through 4. We got a few more. We're gonna get up out of here. Y'all getting this lesson so far, all right? All praise. Y'all getting it on. If y'all getting it online, type in some 7s for me. Yep, just know if y'all keep going live, I'm finna be talking about us from now on. So yeah, you want to be uplifted and you want to change your psychological processing. That's all I'm talking about. Straight up.
Hey, all praise.
Hallelujah.
Yeah, sounds good to me.
All right, let's get it. Deuteronomy 12, y'all, chapter 12, verse 1.
The book of Deuteronomy, chapter 12 and 1. These are the statutes and judgments which you shall observe to do in the land which Yahweh Elohim of thy fathers giveth thee to possess it.
See that? It's like, look, it's like this heathen took all of this and did the same thing, except it wasn't ordained by Yah. They came over to a new land. They murdered and robbed all the people there. They tore down all their statues, they groves, and they inhabit the land. Then after that, they came and got us. Well, and I know if y'all research, it was a two-way slavery. A lot of the bros that was already here that came on a voyage 100 years earlier, they took them to Africa, Portuguese, Spain. Then they went to Africa and got a lot of us there and took us back here. But it seemed like they took what Yahweh, they took the blueprint of our culture and used it against us. The same thing that Yahweh told us to go do to other nations, these heathens did it to us. They did. That's crazy, man.
Yeah,
I know that.
What? Like in the book of Eli, it was all about the Bible.
Yeah.
You had the righteous brother, then you had the heathen. He was like, it's just about the book.
Yeah.
If you can get the book, then you can control the minds of the people.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It was all about, but it's still the Bible. It's a source of power.
Yeah.
Right? It's all about whose hands is in.
Yep.
And who's dictating policy.
Yep.
And look, it's natural that your enemy would use the words of your God against you.
And that's show what they did, boy.
I mean, it's like if you think about it, it's logical for him.
Yeah.
I mean, he's not in the business to remind you that you're greater than him.
Yeah.
And that the inmates are running the asylum.
Yeah.
That's what's going on here. It's just the inmates are running the asylum.
Yeah, exactly.
But it's not his job to tell you how great you are.
Yeah.
But that's natural. He would use your God against you.
You
turn against your God, and your enemy uses your God against you.
Yeah.
Just his strategies and all, right?
Uh-huh.
It says right here, verse 2, you shall utterly destroy all the places.
There it go again. See that? Notice whenever he sent us anywhere, we had to go to cultural war, destroy the whole culture, and then set up. Look, even Abraham was on it. There where he went, once things was destroyed, he set up what? An altar. Went around making markings. That's what we here for, bro. Cultural warfare. We supposed to be going hard for our God. And ye shall utterly destroy all the places.
Totally destroy.
Utterly, boy.
All the places.
Come on.
Wherein the nations which you shall possess.
Whew.
Serve their God.
See that? Now we see why we had to destroy them. Because we are addictive people with an addictive personality.
But look, you're going to possess them. How? Look, if it's since it's culture, when it's about my God against your God and my culture against your culture, he just said these people you're going to possess. In order for you to possess them, you got to destroy their culture.
Exactly. Exactly.
You know what I mean? It ain't gonna work. It's not like their God's gonna be a close number 2 to yours.
Yeah.
How else he gonna control you?
Exactly.
But destroying and totally subjugating.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, look, you see what's happening there, right?
Yeah.
It says, upon the high mountains and upon the hills, and under every green tree, and you shall overthrow their altars and break their pillars and burn their groves with fire.
There you go again. Whew, come on.
And you shall hew down the graven images of their gods and destroy the names of them out of that place.
Ooh, come on.
You shall not do so unto Yahweh your Elohim.
But we walking around with Versace on, huh? Medusa locks with a serpent tongue, huh? Timberland, which is a tree they hung our people on. Nike, which is a Greek goddess with wings. I mean, if you start looking at this stuff, we still doing this. The same thing. We didn't overthrow their gods. We wearing their symbolism, repping their gods, and we'll kill somebody over it. Or spend your rent money and jeopardize your family for these gods. I mean, like culturally, just all mind effed, man. We messed up, man. Straight up. Notice that. In order for you to possess somebody, you possess them, you will have to have your culture over them. And that's truly what's happening to us. A bunch of Hebrew Israelites still enslaved to subliminal programming. You know who you are, you rocking your fringes, you keeping the feast days, but everything else you do is very, very, very Negro pen. It's crazy. Come on, bro. It's straight say it though.
That was it.
All right, from there, all right, look, let's go to the flip side of this thing once we do it. Because look, whether we get it together or not, it's gonna be a remnant that's gonna get it together. It's a remnant that ain't never bowed a knee. He got somebody off in a little section that's still pure, ain't been touched. You know what I'm saying? And look at what he do for this people. It's finna be a cultural overthrow. Yahweh is coming back and putting the culture back on top. He coming back and he's utterly, look, Christ coming back to utterly destroy and overthrow their altars. He's coming back to break their pillars. He's coming back to burn their groves with hell fire. It's going to even burn and melt the elements of heaven.
It's written.
It says, and he's coming back to hew down their graven images and their gods. He going to be so thorough of it, you can't even worship the sun because it ain't going to even give all the light. Any way for them to uplift that culture, he going to make sure it's down. Straight up and destroy the name of them out of the place. So Christ coming back to do that regardless whether we gonna kindle the fire or not. But he told us to kindle the fire. Why are we not starting this? And I'm not talking about flat out going out and straight waging. We ain't got enough weapons. We can psychologically start this though. We can psychologically start this, but we not doing it. You should say something, bro.
I was gonna say it goes to Christ and his carpentry.
Yeah.
Demolition got to come.
Yeah, it do.
That's the first thing about carpentry.
Yeah.
That goes to his carpentry.
Yeah, you have to destroy to rebuild. Yeah.
Destroy the altars.
Yeah. So now let's get into it. We're going to do 2 verses because it's going to lead into the next class. Let's talk about the restoration of Israel and its culture. The restoration of Israel. That's hard. Y'all know that's the good news too, right? Teaching about the coming of Christ, the restoration of his people. That's the good news. That's what we're supposed to be teaching.
Right. That's right.
All right, so let's get it. Let's go to Zechariah 14 first. Zechariah 14. I'm gonna do 2 scriptures. We get up out of here. Zechariah 14. We're gonna start that deal at. We can do Zechariah 14. Started at 13. Zechariah 14 and 13. And look, if y'all read this, start from 1, it's talking about how all nations gonna be gathered against Jerusalem to battle. I mean, it goes in. It straight go in the Zechariah. But I want to get to the key points that I want to share today. So we're gonna start this deal. But read that whole chapter in y'all own time. I mean, when we talk about cultural race wars, it's all the Bible talks about. It's always been a race war and a cultural war in the Bible against us and the Hittites, the Amorites. Remember what he said? He said, "You're gonna let this uncircumcised heathen giant disrespect us?" David. Straight up, you know, it's always been a race war. It's always been a cultural difference. We always been going against other nations and they practices. Always, all throughout the scriptures.
Our God against theirs.
Our God against theirs. Except when we get to this last captivity. I don't know what Negroes is on now. It's all good. It's all good.
Still the same thing.
Man.
That's why we go so hard at destroying the ideology of like pagan days.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. That's us destroying their idols.
Yeah.
All those days are attached to some type of idol.
Exactly.
Or God that has nothing to do with us.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So that's one aspect you can destroy the idols. Like,
yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Destroy the lies with the truth.
Exactly. Psychological
war.
Turn
down the idols out of men's heart.
Can. Our Lord, yeah.
Zechariah chapter 14, verse 13.
Y'all calm it down over there. Yeah, most definitely start now.
Zechariah chapter 14, verse 9.
All right.
And the Lord shall be king over all the earth.
Right.
In that day shall there be one Lord.
Woo.
And his name one.
You that one culture. Imagine that. A whole world keeping your culture that you've been fumbling with since you was created. Come on.
All the land shall be turned as a plain from Jeba to Rimmon, south of Jerusalem.
A plain. Y'all realize a plain is. I mean, he's finna level something. Because we have to rebuild. But like what bro was just saying, it got to be a demolition period. Come on.
And it shall be lifted up.
See that? Now restoration coming. It's going to be a time where there's no more of us dying in the streets. It's going to be a time where we ain't got to worry about getting pulled over and getting killed by the police. It's going to be a time where ain't no more crack, alcoholism in the hoods. It's going to be a time where our women ain't going to be hoes and prostitutes. Our man is not going to be subjected to their penis. It's going to be a time where we straight really love each other in unity. It's going to be a time where money don't exist, y'all. Man, look, hey, I'm waiting on that because that's the true culture. It's coming. Restoration of Israel is straight coming, y'all. Come on.
And it shall be lifted up and inhabited in her place, from Benjamin gates unto the place of the first gate, unto the corner gate, and from the tower of Haneel unto the king's wine presses.
Come on.
And men shall dwell in it.
Now we're gonna be back dwelling. Now remember, Deborah said she looked out, she ain't see nobody. She said the land was desolate, it was a desert. She say, all right, I see all these spears and swords, but where's the 40,000 men to hold them? See that? Come on.
And men shall dwell in it. And there shall be no more utter destruction.
See that? No more. Can y'all imagine that? No more destruction, no more pain, no more sickness, disease, murders. Can y'all imagine that? Man, it's gonna be beautiful. Come on.
But Jerusalem shall be safely inhabited.
Y'all hear that? The new kingdom gonna be safely inhabited. Come on.
And this shall be the plague wherewith the Lord will smite all the people that have fought against Jerusalem. Their flesh shall consume away while they stand upon their feet.
Can you imagine that? Now, what type of heat that's gonna make your flesh, your flesh just disappear and dismantle from your bones while you stand? This is talking about nuclear warfare. This cultural war is finna be as real as it gets, y'all. Y'all realize that this is finna manifest physically very quick. Y'all see the tension. Y'all see it. Just look what's going on, man. It's coming. Yeah, that Terminator movie, true to the mud. thermonuclear warfare is coming. Yeah, nation shall rise against nation. Yeah, it's most definitely time. It's most definitely time.
Be a changing of the guard.
It have to be. And then look, violent overthrow. Violence. Straight up. That's the only way to take back this culture. Woo, come on.
Their flesh shall consume away while they stand upon their feet.
Ooh, I do not want to be a part of that.
And their eyes shall consume away in their holes.
Can y'all imagine looking at somebody and his flesh burn off his bones, then his eyes pop out his sockets? Hey, man, that's violent, boy. Hey, man. Hey, man. I don't want no parts of that. I don't want no parts of that. I'm trying to be in Jerusalem where the walls is around. Because remember, the New Jerusalem gonna have a protective border around it. That's why I'm trying to be at. Come on.
And their tongue shall consume away in their mouth.
Ooh, come on.
And it shall come to pass in that day that a great tumult from the Lord shall be among them.
Ooh.
And they shall lay hold every one on the hand of his neighbor.
All right, so look, they're gonna start banding together, right? But just show y'all that he's not talking about, he's talking about these other cultures, these other people, y'all. Peep what he finna do to them. Come on.
And his hand shall rise up against the hand of his neighbor.
You see that? They're gonna start killing each other. Huh?
And Judah also shall fight at Jerusalem.
Ooh, see that? So look, a war is coming, y'all. Cultural war. Judah we're gonna be fighting all these other nations. Come on.
And the wealth.
Hold on. Now we talk. Look, because look, in order to have a nation and be a kingdom, you gotta have wealth, right? Let's see how we finna get our money. And our money ain't finna be no white dead presidents on no piece of paper. We finna get back real currency. Check this out. Come on.
And the wealth of all the heathen round about shall be gathered together.
Hey, look, they just stole a lot of money from us, bro. I mean, more than trillions. What's after trillion, bro?
Mega trillions.
Quadrillion. What? Yeah. Do a zillion really exist, or we just were saying that? I used to say that. Do a zillion?
Trillion is quad.
So look, just imagine. We're just gonna use the word because we know it means infinite. Imagine just zillions of dollars of gold and silver turned back to the people that was, man, boy.
What you say now? They run that.
Come on, let's start from 14 again.
And Judah also shall fight at Jerusalem, and the wealth of all the heathen round about shall be gathered together, gold and silver, and apparel in great abundance.
Come on.
And so shall be the plague of the horse,
right?
Of the mule, of the camel.
See that he finna kill all means of rides. And look, they ain't finna have no substance. Just like he took the substance from us in Jeremiah 17 and gave it over to another people. At the end, guess what? We get our substance back, restored, and some. Because they over there digging like a mug. This white man been digging in every cave. He been digging in every mountain. He been digging in every sea. So, I mean, the gold didn't multiply. The pearls, all this stuff, the abundance didn't multiply. We getting all that. All of that. All that. But, hey, I mean, it makes sense because New Jerusalem, and New Jerusalem going to be built off of it. And New Jerusalem's going to be built off of it. Streets of gold. You know what I'm saying? This is beautiful, man. Come on.
And of the ass, and of all the beasts that shall be in these tents, as this plague.
Come on, brother.
And it shall come to pass that everyone that is left of all the nations which came against Jerusalem.
See that? So everyone that's left of all the nations which came against us, come on.
Shall even go up from year to year to worship the king.
Oh, so hold on. They gonna adopt our what? Culture. Oh, culture. Yeah, you a part of this culture now. You better bring your butt up to that Temple Mount, because if you don't, yeah, come on.
Yeah, check in.
Yeah, you better check in. Hey, you better be at Jerusalem right before that sun go down.
All y'all on probation.
Straight up.
Check in.
This most definitely a probation period, bro.
You better check in.
All right, come on.
The Lord of hosts, and to keep the Feast of Tabernacles.
Come on, and this lets you know that the culture never dies. The culture is going to be more expound in the new kingdom. Y'all see that? So Christ is coming back to restore what? The culture. Come on.
And it shall be that whoso will not come up of all the families of the earth unto Jerusalem to worship the King, the Lord of hosts, even upon them shall be no rain.
Ooh. Come on.
And if the family of Egypt got not up.
See that? So now it's getting into all these different ones that we were supposed to go and utterly what? Destroy, which we didn't. But it makes sense. And it makes sense he left a little bit. And he had to test us because we do need servants in the kingdom. It makes sense.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? So it makes sense why he did that. Come on.
And come not that have no rain. There shall be the plague, wherewith the Lord will smite the heathen that come not up to the feast of tabernacles.
Y'all see that? So look, our culture is finna be enforced. Our culture gonna become law. Our culture. Imagine that. It's gonna be law over the whole earth, y'all. That's hard.
If you don't come up, you get no water.
Yeah, you die. Yeah. You die. Basically, no water, no food. And then he said, smite the heathen, you're gonna get killed. Yep.
Slow death or fast.
Ooh, come on.
This shall be the punishment of Egypt. And the punishment of all nations.
Of who? Of all what?
Nations that come not up to keep the feast of tabernacles.
Well, let's stop there right there. But do y'all see how our culture is coming back fully? 100%.
And enforced.
And enforced. I'm gonna stop there right there, and I just get that Revelation 21 on my next class. Let me stop sharing the screen real quick. Did y'all understand that?
No.
All praises. All right, online, if y'all got some spiritual understanding, type in some nines. Hallelujah. Give me some hallelujahs. We're gonna pray on out.
Hallelujah.
Hallelujah.
All praise. All right, let's get it. Let's go pray on out and get up out of here.
What a power cord is. That's why that's the one. That's right there,
Let's get it.
My tea.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, you. Hallelujah. Right, let's get it. Everybody good? Let's get it. Yabareka Yahweh Ve'ishmerika Ya'er Yahweh Pena Elika Vikuneka Yesa Yahweh Pena Velika Be'asem Shalom Be'asem Shalom Yabareka Yahweh Ve'ishmerika Ya'er Yahweh Pena Elika Vikuneka Yesa Yahweh Pena Elika Be'asem Shalom Be'asem Shalom Amen. Hallelujah.
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 Amen. The Most High shall bless you. The Most High shall keep you. He shall shine his face upon you. He will bless you and he will keep you and he will give you peace. Amen.
Amen.
Hallelujah.
Hallelujah. Y'all sound good up there.
Oh, yeah, that sounded super good.
Y'all
sounded good. Yeah, hey, y'all was loud too. That's what I'm talking about. Yeah. All praise.
I felt that.
All praise, family. I hope this lesson was very edifying for your spirits, mind, body, and souls. Thank y'all for all y'all donations, support, everything y'all do, family. Yahoo. Most High willing, we'll see you soon. Shalom, shalom, my brother. Shalom, shalom, my brother. MINISTRIES. Shalom, elder man. How you been? Shalom, what's up, Zeph, man?
Again with the lessons, my brother.
All praise.
Daddy,
Yeah, I heard you sing, son. You sounded good. Shalom, elder. How you been, man? All praise. Good to see your face, brother.